boy with a country swing. First we went from the court to the bikes, back to the course of my younger days. Lived through it all, but still nothing changed. Forever be me till I'm in the grave. Face on my problems, don't run away. Stand on my feelings, don't need a chase. Just shoot me straight. I'm like an acrobat, a circus act, like they got me in a cage. I could go tit for tat, the gift, the gab, but can't give it to the hate. I'ma just tip my cap and dip right back to my little happy place. Back on the 9 to 5 again. Steady just working for Saturday. I've been going through the motions, trying to find my way. Never notice if you notice, so I smile and wave. All dry, stay focused, setting my little pace. And now all I have to say, I was a boy with a plan, that turned me into a man. And man, I keep winning and winning again. Whoops, I did it again. On business is right where I stand. Never been slipping on sand. And man, I keep winning and winning again. Whoops, I did it again. I was a boy with a plan, that turned me into a man. And man, I keep winning and winning again. Oops, I did it again. On business is right where I stand. Never been slipping on sand. And man, I keep winning and winning again. Oops, I did it again. Oh man, there he goes again. Every quarter records rolling in, then the quarters get to rolling in. Turning change right to paper, turning paper to the banks. I can't lie, so I can save it. So I slip some in the safe, throw the key away. Mama been worried, but she knows where I've been. I've been grinding down dirty, stay awake till I can. Swear I'm tired, been hurting, but I stick to the plan. I'm alive, I ain't worried, leave the earth where I stand. I've been going through the motions, trying to find my way. Never notice if you notice, so I smile and wave. All dry, stay focused, setting my little pace. And now all I have to say, I was a boy with a plan, that turned me into a man. And man, I keep winning and winning again. Whoops, I did it again. On business is right where I stand. Never been slipping on sand. And man, I keep winning and winning again. Whoops, I did it again. I was a boy with a plan, that turned me into a man. And man, I keep winning and winning again. Whoops, I did it again. On business is right where I stand. Never been slipping on sand. And man, I keep winning and winning again. Whoops, I did it again.
I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. These motherfuckers on the road, where the hell they learn to drive? Jive turkeys at my job, about to get a cool, cold, mean five. Should've took the day off, might slap my boss. My own damn kids pissing me off, as if I hadn't had enough. Chipotle fucked my goddamn order up. I'm fed up, I'm fed up, I'm fed up. I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like slapping a nigga today. serving them rounds. No, I bought the Uber here. My friends expecting me to buy it back. Tomorrow morning, I better get a cash app, or every last one of you motherfuckers getting slapped. Bet that. Whoa, I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa. Woke up this morning with these thoughts in my head. The world would be better off if I just stayed my ass in bed. Whoa, I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa.
I rise and I wake and I gotta go get it. I make up my bed and it's straight to the digits. No cup of jokers, that shit is acidic. So I take a shot with the lemon and ginger. Look in the mirror like, yeah, I'm the nigga. Look in the mirror like, damn it, I'm fitted. Looking outside like the world is all mine. Look in the mirror like, nigga, go get it. I gotta get to the scene, oh, I gotta get to the bag now. I can't be chasing on these hoes. They getting they feeling and dragged out.
I mean, we can't talk street in the barbershop. Then where can we talk street? We can't talk street nowhere else. You know, this ain't nothing but healthy conversation. That's all.
You gotta tell who the park down.
It ain't nobody exempt in the barbershop. You know that. Ain't nobody exempt. You can talk about whoever and whatever, whenever you want to in the barbershop.
Why you gotta tell?
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, some losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip, you choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Yeah. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Barbershop, man. We're so glad that y'all here, man. Y'all see the subject for tonight. I know this is going to get a little personal, especially for these California niggas. All right, I know it's gonna get a little personal for all the Tupac fans. I know it. But we're gonna have this conversation tonight. All right. So we want to welcome everybody here. Thank you for being here. For those who are just tuning in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend so we can get this in. All right. We got Lost in Translation, so he'll be running late. He said no ashy knees. No ashy knees. If you guys want to join the show tonight, please go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. Also, the link is at the top of the chat if you guys want to come and be a part of the conversation. Your cameras must be on because we want to see your face when you make your case. All right. So, guys, the first thing I want to do, hold on. Curtis Morton kicked us off already. Curtis Morton, $9.99 super chat. He said, another Friday at the barbershop. Looking forward to this show. Blessings, BMU in chat. Hey, man, Curtis, thank you so much, man, for all you do and all you give, man. And I'll give you a little something here. Hold on a second. And then we'll get back to the show. Give me just a second.
They said big bag bitch get to the bag. They said big bag bitch you want a snack. Well this big bag bitch she got the stack. So put big bag bitch clothes on the rack. Ooh, on the macaroni. Move and shake it for me. Ooh, we shaking and quaking. The brands are phony. Ooh, the brands are phony. Ooh, they need a Tony. They need an Emmy, Oscar, Grammy, cause the shit's baloney. The way they be faking like they're making all the sizes. If you ain't got at least a 4X, you ain't trying. Ooh, so give it to us, baby. Give us our guys. Give it to us when we step on the spot.
My name is Rosa. They say I'm supposed to sit in the back, but I'm tired here, so I'm finna sit right closer. Come get me up then. It's gonna take about 3, 4, 5 men. And I ain't finna repeat myself again. Fight me. Somebody get her. My name is Eve. I didn't believe. I trusted Satan, ate that apple, he deceived. And yeah, I'm naked. I thought I was awakened. I'm the first to do it. Y'all my daughters, we related. Trick on Big Harry. Don't call me slave hoe. The hell? From the underground, railroad, bustin' down mouth of dope. When I say run, you better go. In the dark, that Glocky glow.
All right, man. Thank you so much, Curtis Moore, man. Guys, you can be just like Curtis Moore. Go ahead and support the channel by Cash App and or by Super Chat. Man, everything that you send here will be used to get right back and put right back into this show that we bring you guys. We're on 7 days a week, ladies and gentlemen. So go ahead and man, we working hard over here. So make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe button, and throw your boy something in the Cash App or the Super Chat. All right. All right. And you'll see the Cash App scrolling at the bottom of the screen and now. All right. So thank you so much, Curtis Moore, for kicking us off tonight with the $9.99 Super Chat. I appreciate you, my guy. All right. So it's a lot been going on. Planes falling out of the sky. Kendrick Lamar being clowned for a performance that most people didn't get. But last week we had a conversation about Little Tupac. And this week we're going to talk about Little Tupac. So I got some guys here that's here already early that I'm going to bring in. We're going to talk about these planes dropping in. We're going to talk about local news first world news first because it's getting bad out here. Shit. So I want to bring up my guys, man. I got JT here tonight. I got Tommy B here tonight so far. I guess everybody else out carpet munching tonight on Valentine's Day. And fellas, every day should be Valentine's Day. And let me say it again. Every day should be Valentine's Day. So most of you irrelevant niggas just do it once a year. Every day should be Valentine's Day if she the right one, if she your person. All right. So let me pick this. Let me pick my boy. And Tommy B is in the building tonight. Tommy B, what's going on, my guy?
What's happening?
What's going on with you, man?
Oh no, who's that California guy you talking about?
Oh man, yeah, I forgot you from over there. My bad, man. My bad. I'm sorry. Sorry, we got to go. My bad, man. Hey, I like that fucking jacket, boy.
Oh yeah, appreciate it. It's a little Harley thing. You feel me?
Yeah, you still got your baby, don't you?
Yeah. I'm about that.
Well, in California, you can ride that bitch every day. She here in Dallas. Hell no.
Nah, it's a little. I ain't gonna lie, it's a little chilly right now. It's about 57 right now, so you know. Out here, if we get under 60, we mad. So yeah.
Nigga, it's 40 degrees. It's 40 degrees here, nigga.
Yeah, my mom in Atlanta, man, she showed me that snow. I said, "Oh yeah, the South is changing."
Yeah, the South it's going through some
And,
damn
and
changes.
they don't want to believe in global warming. Something's going on.
I tell you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my brother from another mother's in the building tonight, JT.
What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? Can y'all hear me? My mic sounds nice.
Yeah, you might say, hey, put your mouth a little closer to the mic.
Pause. Oh, okay. I
Oh shit!
What up, though? What up,
with you, man? Hey, man.
What's up, boy?
I'm chilling, man.
Hey, man, listen, bro. So I want to get after about a week. It's about to be a week of Sunday. Hey, man, what y'all think about all the everything going on with these planes dropping out the sky, man? It's been 7 in the last 2 weeks.
Anybody I see on a plane right now, I'm like, y'all done lost y'all damn mind, boy.
Yeah, boy.
I'm looking up in the sky now. That shit crazy.
Are they commercial planes or are these
commercial?
Right. Commercial planes?
Well, it's been one military, well, 2 technically if you count the helicopter, and then the rest of them commercial.
Yeah,
and not even just falling out the sky, like they bapping into each other, motherfucking wing hitting the tail, like all engine on fire before they took off. Like, bro, it's been ugly.
Absolutely planned. All that shit is fucking planned because there's no way, dog. Do you know the last time we had a plane accident?
2009.
Yeah. Damn near 20 years ago.
Did you see, they had one in Alaska. At first it was reported missing. They found that one crashed. Like, it's been going mania. Sheesh. The Philadelphia one, they crashed in the middle of the damn street.
Damn. Yeah, that's
and that
crazy.
That was a medic plane, wasn't it?
Yep.
I think they had like a little boy on there, son.
And the one yesterday, the one last night, the damn Black Hawk coming flying 200 feet, the damn plane, commercial aircraft going up and ran right into the fucking Black Hawk and crashed. God damn, like, damn, last night.
Wait, you said that happened again?
Nigga, it happened last night again, nigga. Another helicopter, a Black Hawk helicopter hit a commercial flight last night, bro.
That's crazy.
Wait, so you talking? Was that in DC again?
Yeah, no, this was in Phoenix, I think.
Wow, bro, this shit is weird.
Yep, they got a camera. They got the camera footage. I was watching the breaking news today when I was on my break or whatever. Hold on, and they showed the helicopter come up like this here, and then the fucking the commercial line of bam just hit that bitch. I said, damn.
Jeez, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's making no sense at all. You know who I love to have a conversation with? My man DL.
Yeah, where's he at? Hey, hit him up.
He been talking about it a lot on his channel because he's air traffic controller.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, DL is the he the one that really. I missed a couple of his shows, man. But I know he got a lot to say about that. You talking about shit?
I'm telling you, man. Can you imagine? Like I told him at work today, they was like, "Oh my god." I said, "Can you imagine being on that motherfucker when that plane start whistling, nigga? It's over. When you start hearing that,
yeah,
nigga, start praying, nigga. It's over."
Yeah, man.
Oh, wait.
That's crazy. Now that's crazy.
So I don't know, man. But anyway, moving on. What did y'all think about the Kendrick Lamar, man? After a week, tell me, I know that's your guy, right?
Yeah, no, I thought JQ was going to go. No, it was cold to me. I think what people are missing, as far as like the people that were inside the stadium, it's no different than like when you view a game live. When you go to a game live, basketball, football, whatever, you don't realize how much you miss the broadcasters and the angles that you catch on TV until you're there, and you only have one angle, and you don't have the broadcasters narrating for you.
Yeah, it's a whole different feel.
I think it was the same thing for that performance. It was shit going on in that performance that if you was in the stadium, you wouldn't have caught. Like when he did the peekaboo and he popped up in the camera, if you're in the stadium, you don't catch that. Nope. The messages he was putting in the crowd, if you're in a certain part of the crowd, you don't catch that. So I think what a lot of people are missing and why maybe it was a little dead in the stadium, but the views are going up the way they are, is because it was made for TV. It wasn't made for a live audience. Now,
Right.
whether that was a mistake or not, it is what it is. But
he
I'm
said it
just
though. He said
saying-
the revolution is about to be televised. He said
But
it.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and I don't know about you guys. I've never went back and watched a Super Bowl performance as many times as I watched this one.
Yeah.
Like Usher was a good one, but it was like it happened and you kept it moving. Even the what they call the West Coast one, it was a good one, but it kind of happened and you kept it moving. With this one, I'm literally going back, going, "Oh shit, I didn't even catch that." Oh shit, like you feel me? And that's the kind of artist that Kendrick is. And I think another part that they're missing on that, everything that people are saying is exactly what Kendrick's point of the performance was.
Right.
What did y'all want? Y'all wanted him to play the program. If you're at a Super Bowl, you're supposed to. Who the fuck are you to say what I'm supposed to do? When U2 went up there, I didn't know one of them motherfucking songs. It was one of the most boringest Super Bowls I've ever watched in my life. I didn't know an inkling of any of those songs. But when black people get up there, we got to make sure everybody knows our songs? Nah. What he did was what you can call one of the most hip-hop things you can do. One, he rapped with no beat, a cappella. Then two, he did the songs that he wanted to do. Another part too is he did most of the songs from his new album. That's the album he gets paid from. That's the album he owns the masters and stuff too. He's independent now. So why am I gonna push shit that's under another label when I got a brand new album, my first album that I dropped on my new label? I'm gonna push this. And if you look at the numbers, the top two songs, I think 2 of the top 5 songs came from that album. Not Like Us spiked up, Luther spiked up, and I think Squad Blood spiked up. That's all money in his pocket. That's not TDE, Interscope. No, that's Kendrick pocket. You feel me? So it's a lot of different ways to watch it. I think, of course, you're gonna have like, you know, the loony Kendrick fans that gonna say, you know, he took this many steps because it means that, you know, all that kind of crazy shit. But the crazy part about Kendrick is it's hard to even talk about those type of people because he actually does go that deep in his performances. So some of the shit they be saying be true. You know what I'm saying? If you go to like the Not Like Us video, the little knock on the door, everybody's like, y'all doing too much, y'all doing too much. Well, if you look at the knock on the door mixed with the little walk that he did, it actually coincides. You get what I'm saying? But we're so used, and I think, hold on, girl. We're so used to, and I think this is part of the battle, like with Drake, where they pacify you, and we're so used to being pacified that when somebody challenges that, it's automatically opposition. If you listen to the new Drake album today, a lot of people are saying, and it's no dig at Drake, but a lot of people are saying it's the same old, same old.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? If Kendrick is one artist, you can say he does not have one album that sounds the same. Not a one. From Section 80 to Pimp a Butterfly to Good Kid, Mad City, DNA, GNX, Mr. Morale, none of those sound the same at all. Literally completely different sounds. And then what a lot of the Drake fans are telling me is after like Scorpion and stuff like that, it's pretty much just a bunch of recycled sounds and stuff. So I think I dug it just because some of the stuff I caught off the rip, but then to have to go double back and go, oh shit, I missed this part. I mean, I don't know. Call me a hip hop nerd, but I like that type of shit.
Me too, bro. And did you if you haven't watched T-Pain's reaction, bro?
Hilarious.
Man, T-Pain was
hilarious.
T-Pain was like, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna do that in my treatment. Oh, that was dope. How he did. It was just that was the dopest thing in the world to see.
That motherfucking cameraman need a raise because he did his fucking thing, dog.
And guess what, bro? And you know what? I'm tired of hearing like these old niggas talking about. We're gonna exclude you tonight, JT. We talking about these old niggas talking about Michael Jackson. No, all the niggas came and did corporate shit. Kendrick Lamar came and talked about some real ass shit. That's why he said y'all got the right guy at the wrong time.
No, but it goes to it. It goes to what Tommy was just saying. I had to go back and look at it because my first initial, like, seeing it in real time, I was just like, okay, let me see what's going on with the halftime show. I'm not really big on halftime shows because I was still into the football. You know what I'm saying? So when I seen it, my first initial.
By halftime, we was done with the football. That game was over.
Yeah. That shit is done.
No, but you, man, I'm hard. Y'all already know what I do.
Whoa.
You already know this is what I'm about here. And since them niggas wasn't in it, I'm like, well, fuck both of them then, right? But, football is football. I like sports.
Whoa, you said if the nigga wasn't in it, fuck both of them.
You silly as hell, man.
Balls, nigga.
Yeah, no, but so my initial thing was that it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Because I just saw it the first time. I ain't nobody. I'm just looking at it for the first time, and I'm like, if we are, if somebody asked me, was it the best one? Initially I was like, no, I done seen some other ones. Now this is the thing. People were comparing that to all the other ones, and especially, he had more views than Michael Jackson. It's supposed to happen that way, right? If you got somebody that did it. Now, when I looked at it and I seen it all over again, I was like, oh, okay, that was kind of dope. So now I'm really looking at it to see the details that was in it. I wasn't trying to be a conspiracy theorist or nothing while I was looking at it. I wanted to see exactly what the message was. And when I seen what the message was, I said, okay, that was pretty dope. It was a good performance. Just like I still maintain, it was still the way that they performed it, it was dope. When I started seeing the whole thing where, the formations that they had and then the messages that was in there, then you had Samuel L. Jackson that was being the person that was like, this is how you do it on TV with the corporates. You don't fuck it up. And the way that they did it, I was like, that's pretty dope. What pissed it off for me, what made me mad about it was all this other bullshit that came behind it. I'm like, let the man have his creativity and the messages that he had. That's what it was. It ain't like this whole thing is about to be revolutionized and all of that shit. It's entertainment. And when we started looking at it, like you were saying, Tommy, when you start seeing some of the other things, especially if it's live, it ain't the same as watching it because they got every angle. And especially if you up in the nosebleeds, you just, you know what I'm saying? You see it from the top, but it ain't the same thing. My whole thing was, it was a great performance that he did. And I left it at that. I'm just tired of this other bullshit with niggas arguing
But JT, think about it though. That's what makes his shit art. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing when you see the difference between, say, a Drake and a Kendrick is everybody's not going to watch that show and see the same thing. Right. What happens when you go to an art gallery and you look at a painting? Everybody looks at it and sees something different.
Yeah.
I like the discussion because, again, if he did the performance and then we kept it moving, dog, he did more views in one day than Usher did in a year.
Yeah, but if we talking about the performance itself, I ain't got a problem with that. I don't want to go through all the other shit. We slavery and then other people like forget about that and that dumbass shit. I mean, if we talk about the performance and what the nuances that was in it and what it was meant by it, I have no problem with that. That shit is dope. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be at a point where if hip hop is going to be at a point where these cats are going to be battling each other and they got fans over here and fans over there, that's always been in the spirit of hip hop, right? But it done got so bad where it's like, wait, this shit doesn't feel like hip hop anymore. This shit feels much more political, or it's like, it ain't in the spirit of hip hop. You know how it's always been that way. When you had, even before the Pacs and the Biggies and all of that, you had a lot of diss records, you know what I'm saying, that people were like, I love that. That was kind of dope how he came at them because we understood that it was about the spirit of hip hop. Yeah. Now it's kind of like people taking this shit too fucking serious, man.
Well, but, and I heard somebody say this and it was a good point, is a big reason why Drake was the ultimate opponent for Kendrick was because what was a lot of us saying before this battle, man? All of these guys are buddy. They're friends. Nobody wants to challenge. Yeah. And if you heard Kendrick's interview on Apple, he said, I just wanted to get back to the sport of it. When he dropped that Control verse, one of the reasons why him and Drake into it now, everybody else understood what that Control verse was. It was a challenge. is if I get on the song with you, I'm trying to beat you. It was no deeper than that. The only person that took that verse to heart was Drake. You can literally look at all the interviews of everybody he named. The only person that took that shit to heart was Drake. He had the interview right after that was, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand it because when I seen him in person, it was all love. Well, bruh, he didn't say nothing disrespectful. He said, well, if I'm on the same song as you, I want to murder you. I want to make sure your fan base ain't never heard of you.
Yeah.
Like, which I thought when you got on the song with somebody was the goal. You get what I'm
You
saying?
gonna get right. You gonna get bodied, dog. You gonna get bodied. If you don't fight back, then you lost. That's
but
the
you
whole
gotta
thing.
remember who is Drake. Drake is the buddy guy. And so what they were saying was he's kind of the reason why this buddy thing got introduced. And it kind of it drained the competition of it.
So you even had cats. This is the craziest part, and you're right. But yeah, my whole thing is that you don't get to take your ball and then walk off, nigga. No, this is hip hop. I get the whole pop thing and the most popular. No, but this ain't what it is. And that's what when I seen that they were going back and forth, because I thought that I thought my man Cole was gonna get in it too, but Cole was like, nah, I fall back. But Drake was like, I oblige. You know, you smack me with the glove, nigga. I'm about to smack you back with the glove. And they go back and forth in the spirit of hip hop. And then at the end of the day, the brothers end up doing a project together like they've been doing. They end up, you know what I'm saying? And then it'll get to the point where it's like, nigga, I'm still gonna try to murder you because think about this. Wu-Tang Clan was about motherfuckers battling on wax with each other, and they were in the same crew. You hear what them niggas was doing? Them niggas used to be.
I think Kendrick wanted to end that nigga. Kendrick wanted to end
yes,
that nigga.
I would want to too.
He did.
I would want to too, especially when I seen what you did to other cats. And I know that you got it in you. I'm gonna bring it out of you, nigga. What's happening?
I think the only part that you mentioned on that though is it wasn't gonna be no reconciliation. Like Kendrick really don't like that.
Yeah, he don't like that nigga.
He don't fuck with him, and that was the weirdest part for me because everybody kept going back to the beginning. Oh, they were friends, and it's like, you know, especially at our age, I'm not friends with everybody I started out with. I don't get what people didn't get about that.
Right.
I think another part, and we can probably get into this when we start talking about the Tupac thing, is like, let's just go back to Good Kid, Mad City. I think a lot of people paid a lot of attention to the good kid, and they interpreted
not enough about the Mad City.
They interpreted it as Kendrick was just a good kid in a crazy city, and I think what a lot of people missed with that was, in the hood, even if you are a quote-unquote good kid, you could end up in some shit. Let's not forget, Trey was a good kid at Boys in Hood. And if he didn't ask them dudes to let him out at that
let him out the car, yeah.
he would have been part of an M. You see what I'm saying? So, even if you look at Minister Society, like, O-Dog was like the real, you feel me? You can see that Kane had some type of a moral compass, whereas O-Dog just completely didn't give a fuck. And I think what happened was when Kendrick put that album out, and because I call it because he's not a mascot, like the game is a fucking mascot for the Pyru, because he's not a mascot and tattoos all over his face and he don't talk extra aggressive. I think people took him as, and including Drake. I think it's part of the reason why Drake lost, because Drake thought, we're just alike. Nah, bruh. I got 16 homies that passed away coming up, nigga. Drake probably ain't been to a funeral, you know, under 18.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not to say that as if that's like a stripe or something like that, but it's to say that, you know, we came up different. And so I say that to say, like, I think a lot of people got K-Dot mistaken. I think a lot of people think that he's just like this good, nerdy little kid that walked around the hood. And it's like, if you really listen to Good Kid, Mad City, he tells you that necessarily wasn't him. But because I think mentally he was a good kid and he meant well and he just ended up in these situations following his homeboys, I think people misinterpret that as he was just like the out the way kid, and just stuff was happening around him.
I can see that. I can see that. But do you think that going forward that you would have like the battles like it was before? Like my whole thing is that I didn't want, and yeah, I mean I can't control it, but I didn't want the brothers to get to the point where they don't like each other. It's like I don't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? It's like normally, nigga, if I don't fuck with you anymore, I just don't fuck with you anymore. You know, but when I see you, it ain't awkward.
It was on that. Like before the rapping started, Dot wasn't fucking with him because that's why he even said on there, I'm confused by this feature request. You know, there's some shit we need to address. Like he's been on this type of time. If you listen to his music for the last 13 years, he's been on that type of time. When he went on BET and did that freestyle. And since I got a sensitive rapper out of his pajama clothes, he been on that type of time with dude. And I think it rubbed him the wrong way, the way that he took that control verse. Like it rubbed him the wrong way. And then the more and more you kind of pay attention to Drake, it does rub you the wrong way. Because one thing that Lil Wayne told Drake when he first signed him was, stay the nigga that you are. Talk to these ladies. You don't need to get into that gangster shit. And then you start hearing this nigga start talking some street shit. And it's like, nigga, if you from that, you looking at this nigga like, look, you one of the little niggas we used to get a rabbit ears to, nigga. We emptying your pockets. And now you got a couple of bucks and you running with a couple of rough niggas. Now all of a sudden, you know, you don't want to catch me get somebody like.
Yeah. That would.
Somebody pissed on you and you didn't do anything, sir.
Yeah. That would rub anybody in the industry. That'll rub any nigga from the industry the wrong way, especially if he was a in the streets nigga instead of an in the street nigga.
Again, think about it, JT. What he say in Meet the Grams? He says, son, don't ever let nobody piss on you. You either, what do you say? You either go into his face or you die. Like it's just little shit that is just like, and I think dude represents this internet era that we talk about that we kind of hate so much, where niggas is comfortable behind a computer screen running their mouth because they know they can't get touched. Because even like Drake with the little shot he threw, first of all, it's ironic. You got a lawsuit about defamation and then you're back to dissing. But that's another conversation. But you throw a shot at Joe Budden, a nigga that we all know you wouldn't fight. Joe ain't the hardest nigga in the world, but Joe throw them hands.
Joe ain't gonna let you whoop his ass though.
Who thinks Drake is whooping Joe Budden ass?
Nah.
But your old record calling me a dick sucker? It's no different than these little niggas that get on the internet, get tough because they know I can't find you.
Yeah, Budden. This is the thing about Budden.
If we was in arm distance, you'd have that other voice that you'd have your regular voice on there. We know.
Yeah, Budden is not scared to get knocked out.
Absolutely,
he'll fight. He don't care. He'll fight. He ain't scared to lose a fight. And so that's one of them dudes where it's like you got to be careful when you say something to him because he still will roll up on you. And even though you know what I'm saying, you know it was kind of like that in the D. You know what I'm saying when he used to be over here and. You know what I'm saying? When you had him and Royce the 5'9" and all of these cats that was together. Slaughterhouse, So, and them niggas was, even though they was in the same crew, a lot of niggas were beefing with each other. That's why I was saying with the whole woo, it was like, them cats, like Method Man he really didn't fuck with everybody. He was to himself. He was muted a bit, Tommy. Yeah. Meth was he was kind of like to himself. When you see the cats that actually was rocking with each other, it was originally 10 of them. My man, what's his name? He ended up going to prison, so that's why it was like 9 of them. But when you seen the 2 guys that was together, these dudes tried to kill each other, and they end up being best friends. Then you had Ason, aka.
Oh yeah, I seen that on the show.
Yeah, so even in the they got a documentary also. But when you had your boy Ason, right? Ason, which is Old Dirty Bastard, he and RZA actually was the 2 closest. RZA was the producer of all of this. Then you had Inspector Deck, which he was in his own thing. Like there was a crew but they were like family. They was like, when the only time them niggas actually was all of them, you got them all together, and it was still very hard to get them all together, was when they were doing an album, right? Because if they was just doing a joint, niggas like, I'm gonna drop that 16, man, I gotta do some other shit, right? And they didn't. And if you hear like they interviews, Method Man was always the ones like, man, I don't know what them niggas talking about. I don't know what I don't know. He'd go from one thing and go, and then they be like they literally it was like they were just family, and it was what it was. So when you hear like chess boxing, when you hear like some of the stuff that they were doing, you would hear that they were battling each other. Like, my shit is gonna be the shit. And they get mad if a nigga sit there and put their verse first. Like, nah, nigga, put mine last. Method was always the one that, RZA put that. And a lot of them niggas was mad at it because Meth, they very seldom saw him. So hip hop has always been that in an honest form, right? So we see this with Kendrick and we see this with Drake. We got to know what the honest form of it is. If they ain't fucking with each other, if they beef with each other, it's kind of what I think it is that you got too many fans acting like that they can do something about it, and it can get out of hand. And that's the thing about it. A lot of people done lost their lives over a lot of these battles, bro. A lot of battles of rappers. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit will bleed out into the streets.
Those battles was more ingrained in the streets. Like
they were more ingrained in the streets, right? So yeah, you're right.
This one is just straight in. Even the beef he got with the Weeknd, like he runs with some dudes that run with the opposite crew that the Weeknd run. So that's street ties. You get what I'm saying? But these two, it's just purely, I don't fuck with you. You get what I'm saying?
Can I answer a couple of questions? Go ahead. I want to answer a question, man. Where did Drake grow up? One.
Toronto.
Okay, so he didn't grow up in the market. Hold on. I don't need to explain. You ain't got to explain. Listen, he ain't grew up in the black neighborhood of LA, New York, Detroit, Florida. He ain't grow up with that. So he's a different culture. He's a different type, right? Different thinking process. Now, how many of y'all would go to the club and hear Drake music and Kendrick Lamar? I know California. Tommy, I want to ask you this question in reference to California. Y'all feel like that song made y'all against America, the rest of America, or y'all against Canada? I'm just saying because he's from California, and Californians they love. They love Kendrick Lamar. So I want to know how do they feel about that song.
It's not as deep as people are trying to make it. Like Drake ain't gonna come out here and somebody gonna try to knock him down. It ain't that crazy.
It's an industry thing.
But as far as like backing, listen, again, going back to who we gonna be talking about. But
hold on. Okay, I still got some more questions. So. Did they play Drake's music in the club also in Kendrick's and you too, JT? You too. I don't know, being you last time you went to the club. When y'all heard it on the radio, did y'all hear both Kendrick and Drake music? Because I know in the clubs everywhere you went, they was playing a lot of Drake, whether it was Cali, Florida, Texas, New York.
So it's not a comparison because
that shit over with now.
Doesn't make club music.
But here's the thing: there's been beefs in hip hop going back to. I don't know how old you was. One of the coldest diss songs you ever want to listen to is Roxanne Shante. Go listen to that diss song. Yeah, she literally called women out.
Hold on, but
hold on. I'm just speaking. I'm just speaking generally. Y'all can.
No, I wanted to go back to what you were saying though, as far as where he was at. Now you got to also understand Toronto.
I understand Toronto. I understand that. Been there a couple of times. Yeah, I understand that.
No, but it doesn't mean that because he grew up in Toronto that he wasn't fucking with people that was from Cleveland. He wasn't fucking with people from New York. He wasn't fucking with people from Detroit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, course.
To get in the industry, it was just something a little bit different. But you got to remember Degrassi and all that stuff. This man was since when he was a kid, he was also in entertainment. He was already in entertainment. So his ties into the hip hop is a whole different way than anybody else that you can.
I ain't want, but that's what I'm saying. It's a different path that he's taking, right? So even in whatever state you are, a lot of our rappers that come from the bottom, they are sort of driven to it's a chaotic lifestyle, regardless. Because even now, you look at artists outside of those two. Everybody else, you ain't really heard no music from. He had a great song as far as the way it represented America, because now with the new president, he had American flag. He had the number one guy in America is Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam. So yes, us against the rest of the world, but also even with that beef, that to me, I think is more because there was no other artist in America that could even challenge him. With nobody else popping like that. So he's going to get the Grammys, but also going forward, how does that resonate to, okay, we do talking about the beefs and everybody just trying to get better. We can't, if the Ralph beefs are the greatest thing that we got, then yeah, they ain't gonna get no better, man.
No, that's what I'm talking about. That's what America wants. Nice and calm. You almost there. Don't mess this.
Oh no.
It's a
Actually, that was pretty kind of dope.
I love it, bro. I love it, bro. I love it, bro.
Like I said, when I saw it again, I was like,
I love it, bro.
Okay, that was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is this. Being a fan of hip hop, I had to look at this and then the level of life I'm in. I just looked at it in a whole different light. I'm not as invested in hip hop, and I'm damn sure ain't as invested into the new music than I used to be, right? So what I do is I try to see what's going on now, right? Because I can talk about, how it was then, and I'm gonna always do that. I'm gonna always compare because I would rather have this vehicle called hip hop do better and not digress, right? That's just my whole thing because of the love that I have for it.
Yeah.
However, go ahead. Oh, I ended with this. However, I had to just learn how to just look at things with a clear mind, right? This is what it is. I ain't got no huge investment in it no more. So, based off of what you was just asking originally, Black Man, I didn't see anything wrong with it.
I loved it, man. Uncle Jeff, welcome to the show tonight, my brother.
Fellas, what's up?
What's going on, Joe?
I loved it because when Samuel L. Jackson did what he did, bro, when he came to that camera and said what he just said,
that's what I'm talking about. That's what America wants. Nice and calm. You almost there.
On that part right there, he said, "Nice and calm." That's what they really wanted. They wanted nice, calm, be calm. You niggas need to be calm. Be like Michael Jackson. Be like, no, that nigga didn't. He said,
"Think about it, BMU. My nigga had niggas with dreads and golds at the fucking Super Bowl, my nigga." And when I say that, because I think a lot of people take that as far as like, it's promoting street this, street that. I more look at that as everything that we do, they find a problem with. All of y'all old enough. Y'all remember when it used to be taboo to wear your hat backwards?
Mm-hmm.
It didn't turn cool until the white folks start doing it. Now they put labels and shit on there. But I remember back when we used to do it, and white people would look at you weird because your hat was on backwards.
Black people will too. The older black folks did too. They used to say black people got their hat on backwards because they backwards thinkers. I remember hearing that shit in the 80s. I remember hearing that shit.
When I see the dudes with the golds, it's not about you representing the street. It's representing we gonna do what the fuck we want to do. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like it again, because if you listen to what everybody's saying when they critiquing the show is, no, you're supposed to do this. You're supposed to do that. It's literally what the show is about, playing the game. That's why when he started playing the game, what did he do? He did the songs that everybody said he was supposed to do. Mm-hmm. So literally what the discussion people are saying, it's literally the exact thing he was putting into the show. That's the funniest thing about it. It's like when you listen to like Maul from Maul and Rory, you're at the Super Bowl. You're supposed to play the hits. Da-da-da. And if you listen to Joe Budden, even they said, damn, yeah, I've been programmed. Because we're literally telling this man what he's supposed to do at his halftime show. Again, I go back. I did not know one U2 song. Not a white person gave a fuck whether I knew them songs or not. But now when we get up there, we got to make sure the white folks know our songs. Fuck them.
Uncle Jeff, what you got on there, brother?
Oh, hey, fellas. Peace to the panel. JT, was real close to what I wanted to say. We need to let this be important to who it's important to. And it's important to the youth. It's just not important to me for the following. There wasn't a damn thing said there that hasn't been said before or funkier. I invite you to listen to Paris. I invite you to listen to X-Clan. I invite you to listen to Public Enemy. I invite you to listen to KRS-One. But those words were for my generation, the generation that failed. This generation believes that everything they see that is great is the greatest thing that's ever been seen. And you have to go ahead and let them have that, because you're not going to talk them out of it. What's far more important, and where they're going, and eventually they'll get there, is if we really were doing what the fuck we wanted to do, then we would look deep down and see that there's nothing to be proud about when LeBron and his son are owned by the same white man. If we really look down deep, we'd ask ourselves, why is it that the NFL is 85% black, but it's not owned by us? If it was 85% Armenian with the Chinese on it, that's what we should be asking here, gentlemen. We could correct this need for everything from the government comes. You know what, fellas? As I think about all my prized possessions and all my income, if I gave it to you, brothers, just so I could hang out with you, I'd have to hang out with you broke. Well, that's what we do. As black people, we don't need a fucking nickel. As with regard, like as in reparations, or we don't need it. It'd be nice to have, but we don't need it. We have everything we need, except for the backbone to not be black folks ain't mad because white folks, what white folks did. Black folks mad because white folks don't love them yet. Please accept me. Please accept the Crip Walk. I don't care if you don't like the Crip Walk. Well, let me look. I don't care if you don't like what I'm wearing. Well, let me do all of that. All of that. And all of that comes from the we shall overcome generation. Most of them are dying. And they can't die fast enough for me. They can't. The people who were celebrated for how well they took oppression, I can't wait till them niggas die. What has to happen is black people have to really want to stand on their own feet, but they're scared. They're scared. They're scared. How else do you get to kill our women in the street? How else do you get to kill our children in the street? How else do you get to kill a child in cold blood and sell the gun? We're scared. So I'm going to let the youth have this. Kendrick was great. You know what? He was wearing bell bottoms. Haven't seen those before. He was driving, he pulled a Grand National up. Haven't seen those before. He said, he put coded messages about this is America. Haven't seen that before. Childish Gambino. We've seen it. We've seen it. It was on the biggest stage of all.
There you go. I think that's the difference. I think KRS-One never got a stage of 60 million, 63 million people.
Brother, KRS-One didn't need a stage of 60 million because you don't need 60 million to start a revolution. I don't care how big the stage was. The stage was stolen from you. It's your stage. What is football without niggas? Don't nobody want to see 22 slow white boys do shit. So unless and until, and I hate to be so nonplussed about it because I really am. And this ain't even about, part of it is about the fact that I can fill a short school bus with dudes who I think rap better than Kendrick. And I don't have anything against this brother. I just don't get the hype. I don't get how you high hurl Redman's new album and go over into this and lose your mind. I don't know how you do that. I don't know. I know so many dudes. I know 3 of them personally that, in my opinion, for my particular palate, but then again, I'm 60, that are better than him. I don't have to get it because it's for these people. And if you needed to be that he was on, okay, yes, it was a big platform. Oh, it's a huge awakening. The problem is, how long before you niggas go back to sleep? That's the real talk. Okay, yay, Kendrick, that was great. Sam Jackson, that was wonderful. For this generation, you're going to have to forgive me if you come in front of this generation with a big green lizard and I go, you know what, that's Godzilla. I've seen it. That's exactly where I'm at with it.
You know, I said this to the church, and the older people had a problem with me saying that the church used to be more youthful. Let me tell you what I told them. I said, well, all you old people that want things to stay the same, oh, the drums are too loud. Oh, we don't want to darken the room. Oh, we don't want the strobe lights. Oh, we don't want this. And I said, well, you old niggas, if y'all don't know, this is not for you. If you niggas don't know God by now and you're 85 years old, goddamn, I mean, it's just a little bit too late.
Right, it's only 66 books, shit.
I mean, goddamn, you don't know him by now.
Take a book a year.
Yeah, you got to do stuff to, but I see what you're saying from your point of view.
Mm-hmm.
But Kendrick, man, I at this point, I mean, even the song he did. What was the name of the song when he did he took the Marvin Gaye hook? And I want you to want me to.
Oh, no, that's not Marvin Gaye. Oh, no, that is Marvin Gaye. I want you. I want you.
And he did, man. What? Oh my God, bro. I mean,
you sounded like Michael McDonald when you sung it.
Did you see the video?
Yeah.
No, that guilty is charged. I've only heard a little bit of his music. And I've everybody I know that's my age says save your time, but I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen entirely to Pimp a Butterfly.
I was one of them. I mean, just on a I didn't, because I know he can do better. That's all. It was more of critiquing it from that standpoint where I'm like, yeah. I mean, I do that with anybody. I don't care how good I like you. If your album is not hitting up to me, I'm just gonna say that you need to do better.
Pimp a Butterfly?
No.
Yeah, remember the one he was rapping, but every time he did a verse, he would push himself forward and his face would change to another person. He did O.J. Simpson, Kobe Bryant.
Oh yeah. No, that was
I like
no, that one was that was a Lucy. He didn't put that one on the album. But that was the Hard Part 5, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah. But that treatment was dope as hell in it because it just, that's why they called it a treatment instead of a video.
Nigga, when he rapped as O.J. Simpson, bro, when he started talking about the life of O.J. and he had O.J.'s face on top of his face, and then he went to Kobe Bryant, and then he went to Nipsey Hussle, bro, that shit went hard in a bitch.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna keep it solid with
you. I gotta run, fellas, but I'm gonna come back.
Okay. Jeff, hold up before you go. I'm going to say this. I want you to think, but I'm going to say I got some pushback to what you said at the beginning, right? You wasn't a generation that failed. We failed, maybe not so good at family, but as far as brothers your age, JT age, my age, brother Bennett, a little Gen X's, man, shit, we did our thing. We still doing it. Everybody else.
Okay, brother. If that's the case,
so come back.
If that is the case, then who sold the crack and who smoked it?
Well,
who went to prison?
Hold on. Us teenagers coming out of some teenagers coming out of high school, and then like you, brothers had to escape from it. Brothers had to get away from it, and a lot of brothers got away. The ones that stayed there got caught up in it. A lot of them became parents and started smoking it.
Okay, understood. But that cannot. Bruh, I'm telling you.
I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying as far as brothers like you.
The difference between a reason and an excuse. I understand that. But from your stance, it's going to be almost impossible to really, for me, and again, you may be able to, but I cannot reach young people without saying I'm sorry for what they went through, regardless to the fact that I did not smoke crack, that I was there for my sons. I can't say that. I can't reach them from there. I have to reach them from the place that they.
Our generation wasn't as crack smokers, though.
Okay, never mind. I gotta go, y'all. I'll be back.
All right. Okay. No, we were the sellers. This is why you have the Tupacs. This is why you have the boomers were the smokers. We sold it to them. We were the ones that sold the crack to them. This is why you have Wu-Tang. What were they? They were dope dealers, wasn't they? This is why you had. This is why you had DMX. Even though he smoked it, but he was also a nigga in the streets too. Boy. Yeah, he was a jack. Right. Then you had, but listening to because imagine, you got to remember what our music was about. UGK, Scarface.
But UGK said it.
It was about selling. No, it was about selling it. It wasn't about smoking it.
It
wasn't about smoking. This generation wasn't the smokers.
That's when it became more.
As a matter of fact, when you look at BMF, Blowing Money Fast, the Black Mafia family, right? They were sellers of crack. The ones that they were selling to was the older folks. As a matter of fact, here in Michigan, they were from E-Course. Guess who their best customers were? Motherfuckers that worked in the plant. That's what those people were. They were boomers. They were boomers.
Crack was being sold all over the country, and there was some young people.
And our generation was the ones that was doing it. We was the ones.
I know, but what I'm saying, it was some of my generation that was getting hooked on it. Some of those women, some of the mothers that had children, 8, 9, and 10, they was getting hooked on those drugs heavy. The mother,
we can agree with this. We can agree with this. What happened was because it goes to your point. We had some resilient brothers from our generation, right? Some resilient brothers. Why? Because when you had heroin and crack, they were tearing our family up. Before crack even got there, heroin was tearing up our family. I had an uncle that died being hooked on heroin, and he was on heroin from the age of 14 years old. You get what I'm saying? And when he got off, when he was like, I don't want to do this shit no more. I'm done with it. And he got off. He overdosed on what they call it, that
methadone.
That methadone. He overdosed on methadone. And I know a lot of people that overdosed on methadone. You dig what I'm saying? I had an auntie. She did crack since the age of 13, 14 years old. Boomers. These were all boomers. My family was told to fuck up from a whole bunch of our boomer family being hooked on drugs. It don't matter if it was crack or heroin, because we had, and guess what? We had another thing that was a big epidemic in our family: alcohol, big time, right? And when you got some of your best hip hop artists come from that pain. When you listen, that's why they understood X when he was speaking. They understood Pac when he was speaking, because that fucked them up. They fucked their family up. His mama wasn't a mother that was, I'm talking about Pac. His mama wasn't that mama that was like, okay, I love you, son, and we gonna get you in the best schools or whatever. He had to become the person he is because of his background, him and his sister.
But that's most inner city rappers. They have a shady background. I would just say a lot of it's really not their fault. But then even when they get their break, man, because JT, I'm a few years older than you, and there was a time when brothers, even though they beef, brothers got to live out their life. When crack in New Jack City came out, it changed the game entirely, because you saw a lot of good brothers being deleted by each other. And we recovering from that, and the music sort of changed from, even with Wu-Tang, they had those battles, but they wasn't being, I guess, derogatory. They wasn't saying motherfucking B and all this. All that was out of the game. And then when that hit the game, everything changed from.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you from what you said to Jeff. We had a lot of brothers that was resilient, because guess what we still have? We got cats that's out here that's 50 plus, and they got their family together. We got a lot of them. Got a lot of fathers that was out there, even though they had family that was kind of screwed up, or they probably themselves were, right? We know people like that. One of the things that I can say, though, is that us being Black folks, we used to focus on being resilient, being able to, and what's happening right now is that we're losing faith in one another. The more and more we get ingrained into this, United States, the less and less we have, the faith that we can become something greater than what was put out there for us. Look at how even when you can really see it now because of social media, that we're just not in the mindset of coming together as a family anymore, right? And it's fucked up. And the only thing we doing is regurgitating old ass talking points. We need to do something better. One of the things I love about hip hop, because it did bridge the gap so many ways, bro. We're talking about 5+ decades right now of something that at least it shined a light on things. It helped a lot of things. And then we also took it where it kind of fucked up a lot of doggone things also. But it's just like what life is. It's a beautiful, fucked up damn thing that we got to experience. It's not one thing at all. So that's one of the things. So I agree with you when it comes down to still being resilient. I hope that we can get that hope back with one another, man, because it's just too much. And I ain't gonna even lie to y'all, brothers. This week, I didn't even want to get on social media, bro. It's like an overload that I had. And all I'm hearing is just people we ain't this and women ain't this and men ain't this, blacks ain't this, fuck white people. And it's like, wait, God damn, we live amongst one another. We got to put some perspective back in here. We all over the place. And that can take a toll on you when you just observing everything, man. And I'm like, I don't even want to have a fucking outlet right now. I just want to chill. Yeah. So, but I'm glad that I do get up here because I love having conversation with you brothers, man. Most definitely.
Now let's get to this soft sis ass Tupac. Listen. I'm gonna play this video real quick.
Hey, look, you Tommy cringing right now. That way he had to look like, who the fuck said what?
I'm gonna play this video real quick. We're gonna discuss it right after. Here we go.
Yes, Biggie was saying when they ran into each other at the Soul Train Awards and guns got drawn and everything else like that, like Biggie was looking at this guy who he used to hang out with, that he was close friends with and everything else like that. And he's like, I'm not seeing Tupac, I'm seeing Bishop.
Thank you. See, I mean, I've been saying this. I said it a long time ago when people try to attack me. But now you think about everybody who speaks about Tupac. There's a dichotomy. There's two guys going on. Mm-hmm. All you got to do, please play the 17-year-old Tupac, the interview. That's who he was.
Yeah.
He was this innocent, almost, dare I say, somewhat effeminate type of dude, right? Like when you really look at that interview, he was a very soft person. That's who he was. 2 years later, he plays Bishop. And that character that he created with Bishop influenced millions of people. And he stayed in that character because I literally would see him flip-flop from one character to the other because we would hang out, we'd play pool. And famously, people would say, your friend looks like Tupac. And they didn't think that could be him because he was more like that 17-year-old guy. And a lot of people that really knew him was like, yo, because I always speak the way I speak now. And so he felt very comfortable being that other side around me, that really playful, clowny, kind of like silly type of guy who knows all the Schoolhouse Rock jingles, and then would flip into a different mode around. It's kind of like once he did that Bishop role, that became a much more interesting character for him to play. And I always say it's like if Al Pacino played Scarface and then chose to stay as a Cuban drug lord to impress Cuban gangsters. Well, he could stay in that character if he wanted to. You know what I mean? Al could have done that.
Completely.
But when you're a young kid, that impressionable, and you get all of this accolades for being that character, even gangsters, look up to you and give you that's a fantasy for a young kid like that who was saying,
oh, these guys call women the B word. The B word. He was saying this in the interviews. 2 years later, becomes bishop, right? So, I mean, I just think this is a fascinating study of human behavior that people could just look at that and go, wait a minute, the Tupac that you've seen, his biography is a guy who grew up tough his whole life. That's not what he was. Simply, that's not what he was.
He grew up poor his whole life.
Yeah, but you would think he grew up in the hood his whole life. And you know good and damn well that wasn't a scenario.
Yeah, no.
Because
he hopped around different cities, from Baltimore to Marin to New York.
When he's 17, he's a background dancer for Digital Underground.
Correct.
And then he gets cast in Juice.
Right.
You know? So that it's fascinating when you just think about this imagery. It kind of connects with the Seagal thing. There's an image that somebody's presented. If you really pay attention, who are the real people? There's an imagery that most of our rappers presented early on that when you look at it later, and the Snoops and Dr. Dre's and Ice Cubes and all these people, you go, wait a minute, is that the gangster that influenced me to become a gangster? You know what I mean?
That the gangster that influenced me to become a gangster.
So So I look at it and go, hey, just kind of educate yourself and say, okay, there's imagery that gets paid great deals of money presenting themselves and influencing a whole generation of people.
Great perspective, huh? Great perspective that Ja White has. You silly as hell, black man. You silly as hell.
I'm gonna let y'all talk.
He wasn't a hey girl. He wasn't a hey girl. That wasn't that. But he was not all eyes on me. He eventually became that, but the Pac that. Let me bring it back. All right. So Tupac was introduced to us on the soundtrack of, I can't remember the name of the fucking movie. What was the name? But the song was All Around the World, the same song.
Talking about Digital Underground.
Yeah, he was in Digital Underground. He was a group member of Digital Underground.
Right.
But let me just say what this is though. The movie was a Dan Aykroyd movie. It was like a comedy horror movie, and they ended up getting a contract doing the soundtrack for that song, which it was at a point where nobody actually knew Tupac the way that they know Tupac now, right? Or when he really started popping. When his first album came out, Tupacalypse, that album came out in 91. I just graduated myself from high school. And when that album came out, you got to remember, there was a shitload of albums that was out. Hip hop wasn't the same way that it is right now. There was no social media. There was none of that. You had Word Up. You had Wrap It Up. You didn't even have Excel. That wasn't even there. So all of our information that we got was basically through interviews, Yo MTV Rap, what was it? The Basement with I don't even think Tigger was even on it yet. You had rappers that's what we knew about them. With Tupac, we only knew what we seen. And Ja is absolutely right when he says 1992, Tupac ended up being in a movie called Juice. He played a rapper. He played a character called Bishop. And he played along the side of Omar Epps. I can't remember the other two dudes' name. But what'd you say, JC? He said I'm lying. He knows. Let me see something. He know he graduated with Ryan Isaac. Oh, okay, you just talking shit. but when it came down to Tupac being this all eyes on me type guy, that wasn't him yet. If you hear his first album, if you hear what he was talking about, it was political, but it was also hood shit that he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was all of the things, but the and I tell people this all the time. When you hear the way that the music was, bass lines and the, you know what I'm saying, the quality of the music, the mastering of it and stuff like that, it really did hit. Now Tupac was known, it didn't. Listen to it compared to All Eyes on Me, and you will hear the quality of All Eyes on Me.
Oh yeah,
even when you look at his that album only went gold. It sold like 500,000 copies, right? Which is still a lot.
All Eyes on Me.
No. Tupacalypse Now.
Oh yeah, Tupacalypse Now.
See, most people gonna go straight to All Eyes on Me or Me Against the World. No, but you had two albums that was before that, and like I said, you had some diehard Tupac fans. I was not one of them. I had a homeboy, I had a roommate when I was in the Army. He was like, damn, all of them, nigga. He was like, Tupac is who it is, right? So you had your people that was saying Tupac was it. But what was we all on? We was on Ghetto Boys. We was on, this was before even Snoop came out. This was before Drake came out with the Chronic, all of that. Yeah, this is where you still had LL coming out. You still had MC Lyte. You still had Queen Latifah. You had Naughty by Nature, but Naughty by Nature was up under Flavor. You still had your boy KRS-One. Guess who was rocking? So Def. This is when you had Crisscross that came out. This is where you had what was the name of that song? My Boo and all that stuff. That was, well, My Boo came out a little bit later. But you had the South trying to make some noise. You still had Two Live Crew that was doing theirs. You still had, man, you had a lot of rap. So when somebody sat back and said, let me tell you who was actually who popping, Tupac, a lot of people was like, yeah, but he ain't like Scarface, or he ain't like, even Ice Cube and NWA, he ain't like them. But you had those diehards that was like, man, Tupac, nigga, you got to listen to his shit. So remember what Tupac was known for, Coach Ferg? The double voice and the E's and E's and V. And when he had that double voice, wasn't nobody doing that. They was like, nigga, that shit sound like shit. Like the engineers used to be like that, play it like I want you to play it. I don't know if you guys ever heard the story of him. I'm gonna let you go right after I say this, man. I don't know if you guys ever heard the story of Tupac. He had an assault charge against the engineer because the engineer kept trying to change his sound away. And he's like, I want it that way. It was the reason why. He said, I want my voice to sound doubled. And he had a problem with that shit. And him and the engineer got into it because he knew what his sound was supposed to be like. That's what we knew about Pac. Just listen to this motherfucking album. You will hear what I'm talking about.
JT, brother, listen, I'm not down anything you say. You was a DJ. You've been connected to music everywhere for the last 40 years. On the most basic level, though, when it comes to like Tupac from 17, I don't want to hear no dude talking about they got the toughest son at 17. He was in the acting business, and he had a little soft-spoken. He could write. He'd been writing for a long time, and he write poems. This nigga used to write. How many of you niggas wrote a poem? You know what I'm saying? So when he got into the industry, he saw what it was, and the industry allowed him to go to the spaces that he went. The industry allowed, they sort of, it was sort of playing. Think about it. Tupac, he went from being this little soft-spoken guy one year. He make one movie. First of all, he have a hit song with digital. Then he make a major movie his first movies with major, what's that? A actors. So now he come out with what's that other movie? Not Juice. He came out with Juice. Then he had the perfect bad boy image for that time. He's a bad boy. He took out his friends, you know what I'm saying, just a bad boy image. Then he come out with Above the Rim. He played the same type of character. And then everything else, the incident with how many brothers today you think could have shot at the popo and got away with it?
But you going too far over there.
What I'm saying, I'm just looking at the transition from what, like he was saying, Tupac was.
Yeah, but that transition, you got to remember that transition. Let's be 100. The transition went from 89 to what 90. What he died in 96. 1996?
Juice was in 91.
I know, but he was already coming out in 88, 89. That's why when my man was saying when he was 17. Remember, in 1991, Tupac was about to be almost 20. He was 19 years old. He's a year older than me.
Yeah, 19. Right? Yeah, he was going on 20. Yes.
Right. So we talking about 88, 89. Right. This is where
17.
Right. So, but even then, he was even in high school. I thought that BMU was going to play the interview that he had, and you can see all the settled femininity that he had when he was talking. I thought that was going to be one of his. I can bring it up if BMU want me to do that too. However, we don't even. What I'm saying is that was a very short period. Think about that. 88. 1996, and then look at that. So in 85, he was what, 15, 16?
Yeah, they good years. 9 years, 8 years.
Right. So look at So when you look at that on the moped.
Yeah. Tupac looked like most typical 17-year-olds running around the streets now.
However, the industry and what John White was saying was that this is what happens when you get into character. You may not want to get out of that, because you got to remember, he was doing this is the thing also. This man was a hell of a fucking worker. Think about the things he had to go to. What year did he go? Tommy, what year did he go to prison? Was that in 90, 94?
94, something like that.
In 94. So he had two albums. Now, this is some fucked up shit. He had two albums that he never got a chance to properly promote himself. His concerts, I used to be like, damn, man, I wish I would have been able to go to a Tupac concert, right? Because the shit, when you see some of the things with the House of Blues, you see it in, and a couple of other places that you see, but he didn't even get a chance to reach his peak of stardom, right? This man was out here and he was putting his work in. However, what happened with that was when that Bishop came out, he hung on to that character. But when you see the movies that he was in, because it was more than just Juice, he ended up being, what was the one that you said he was in?
Above the Rim.
Above the Rim?
Yeah, Above the Rim.
He was in the one where he worked for the post office with Janet Jackson.
Yeah, that was Poetic Justice. He was
Poetic Justice.
He was in a gang related.
He had Grid. Then he was in Gridlock. I don't even know if anybody even seen Gridlock with Jim Belushi.
Yeah, Gridlock. That's gang related. That's gang related.
And then Gridlock with the other dude. So gang related. He was in
Bullet. He was in Bullet.
He was in Bullet. Think about in that little time that he had to be making all these albums and records and being on with other people. Because remember, the dude that was actually right there with him also was your boy, Tretch, from Naughty by Nature. Because if you look in the movie, that was like they were literally going in that same path, right? Even in Juice, Tretch was in Juice. He was on the opposite crew with whatever, with old boy. But when you seen this in Tupac, it was kind of like, okay, this dude is dope as hell. And then once you heard Strictly for My Niggas, his second album he came out with, that's where it was like, oh, this dude is out cold, right? but he stayed in that zone. He didn't go away from that. And Strictly for My Niggas was like, that's where it started getting like, it was a lot more street than, you know, Tupacalypse Now, because, you know, he was really like, Brenda Got a Baby was probably a lot of people's favorite.
That set him on the map when he came out with that. Because
he had a song that I love called Violence. He had a song called Violence. That shit was so dope, man. When you hear it, just if you get a chance, look it up. Listen to that song, man. And you know, it was kind of dope. And he was
what album was it on, JT?
That was his first album, Tupacalypse Now. Tupacalypse Now.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I got it. I got to go listen to it.
But it was very few people, Tommy, it was very few people that was rocking with Pac like that. And the ones that was, they actually knew what they were talking about when they were like, and basically it was like this. If you like Scarface, you like Pac. If you like Cube, you like Pac. If you like, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like that type of thing. It was like, it was certain people because we had so many people to pick from. But it started to start being, now that's Strictly for My Niggas, I'm telling you. That's what actually got Pac, where more and more people was like, I need to, you know what I'm saying? That shit is so, man, when you hear it, you can hear the difference between Tupacalypse Now, and then you can hear the difference in that. It's Strictly for My Niggas.
And that's when the industry started, was in his whole setup, because just think about how he switched character. And once he came out of Juice, it was like he was allowed to just, the industry gave him that setup. The industry gave, man, how many brothers you know today, a rapper, whoever, a truck driver, anybody can actually see the police doing something and get out and file some rounds and walk away, go to court, walk away, no prison. That makes no sense. That ain't no way it's going to happen. And all the things that happened to him, the way, you know, even to his, man, it was just all set up to be. All it was a plan, man. Everything about that is just, a whole nation of brothers took on that image. They dressed like him. They took on that image, and
but he didn't have, this is the thing. Pac didn't have the image that you're talking about. That gradually went in. I'm still talking about the nigga that wore even
those shorts. You talking about the dude on that motorcycle and motorbike he was on?
No. So when you seen Strictly for My Niggas, right? When you seen that, Pac was the one that you know, I damn near had the same build as him, right? 5'11", you know what I'm saying? Nigga was, especially I'm in the army at this time, so my body was cut up, bro. You know what I'm saying? I had it was kind of like that. So it was like the vest. Remember, we used to wear the vest with no shirt. Nigga, we would go to the club like that, Tommy. Jodeci, that shit them niggas was wearing. That's how Pac was dressing, with the Timbos, with the high-tech boots. You know what I'm saying? That's how he was dressing. That's how all the niggas were dressing in the clubs. That's how everybody was going. This was before he had the rag, and he was. This was just that.
JT, that was you. Like I said, you like I said, you the same age as Pac. So yes, you. But yeah, that image took over American young man. That image.
Right. So then now, because this is not a brother, this is what I'm trying to get it convey. This is not a brother that was high off of stardom. He was high off of people gravitating to him and him gravitating to the people. This is the craziest part about it. Anybody that have been close to Pac, that has always talked, they always tell you, you're going to get multiple Tupacs. You're going to get the quiet one. You're going to get the workaholic. You're going to get, you know what I'm saying? And then you'll get the frustrated one. You get the boisterous one. You know what I'm saying? It was like, and just think about this, because we can look at it hindsight now. He was working as if I ain't got a lot of time on this earth. I ain't got a lot of time on this earth. What John White was talking about was literally who he was. There was, I don't get me to talking about he was gay and no. But he did have mannerisms that was a little feminine. I ain't gonna lie about that. He did. When you see the younger him and you saw how he started to transition, even when he was doing his transition, dog, it depends on what interview he had. During the time that he was out here and he was moving, You had people that was like, Tupac gonna get himself killed. He just talking too much. Remember that time when he got shot and they was antagonizing him and he threw the finger, the famous bird he threw up, and him, spitting on the spitting at the photographers and shit like that. Yeah. That was his frustration. Exactly, that was his frustration. Yeah. I know and but that was his frustration and all this shit. Because he like, y'all niggas set me up. And this was the whole thing. This is why it got to the point where he was beefed out with Big because and Puffy because he like, nigga, we supposed to be homies. And y'all knew those niggas that robbed me. It's a weird thing. Like, you know how it's a cultural thing when you are like in New York. And I understood this when I used to go over to the 5 boroughs. And I used to I remember they had a nigga, man, they said that motherfucker is shiesty as hell. They used to call him Poker Face. The nigga used to look like JB Smoove. You know the comedian JB Smoove? That's how he looked. And I remember a nigga used to be like, man, don't be around. That nigga shiesty as hell. But he seemed like a cool nigga. But they was like, that's the nigga that's going to get you set up right there. That's the nigga that's going to get you set up. So I seen how that culture is. It's kind of like that type of thing. So he like, I know these niggas. So he used to go to New York. I'm from Harlem, nigga. You know what I'm saying? He used to live in Jersey. Then he was in California for a very long time.
Yeah, but when he went out to California, he was really by himself.
No, he wasn't. You think he was by himself when he went to Cali?
Yeah, he was by himself.
Nah,
he was. What I mean is he was isolated from really. I don't know. Man, he was out there by himself. Man, he hooked up with the most notorious manager in the music game. Executive.
He wasn't even a manager he wasn't even a manager when Pac went out there, man. Pac was rocking with Shock G.
I know, but when he came out, man, when they got him out of the system, it was over. It was already marked for that.
Yeah, but that was you talking about years later. No.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But even that was his prime right there for real.
But that was only like 14, 16 months of it, dog.
That's what I'm saying. He was isolated. They had already tried to create this beef between him and Biggie, right? And then you don't make an attempt on a brother's life in an elevator. You can't even run. Then he survived it. And then he come out of that. He do what he do. He gets into all kinds of stupid little trouble. The man goes to prison after he gets shot. When he got shot, he was in New York though. But that's what I'm saying. He gets shot. Then he goes to prison. After that, then he gets out. He has probably at the time his music was probably better than 65% of the rappers out there in the music game. Maybe, if you go and compare it to some old school LL and the guys like Drake and all that. But the guy still had major appeal when he got out. And it's just, I don't know, man. I always rated Tupac as the best based off of what he endured and what he put out to the world. You know what I'm saying? There's been no other rapper that compared his talent. They had a college course about him. Ain't no other rapper had that. It's the best.
Go ahead, Tommy.
So I think a part that y'all mentioned, number one, so I hate if you don't fit the mascot, then that's not you kind of conversation. And that's kind of the biggest thing with the Pac thing is he didn't look like what people thought somebody from the streets was. I've had some of my goofiest homeboys be the ones that was sliding. And if you was around them, you never would have knew. I think that one of the bad things that the rap thing has done is because so many of these rappers keep that persona 24/7 like a Rick Ross. We think that's what it actually is. If you was ever in the streets, you see that other side of these guys. and they're not ice grill mean mug when they're at the fucking family reunion. It's something called knowing how to act. I always laugh when like Snoop's school picture came out. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, that's Snoop." So did you think my mama was gonna be cool with me going to school with a fucking blue bandana and me ice grilling for school?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know too many people who don't have square ass school pictures. So why are you looking at school pictures going, "Oh my God, Snoop looks like that"? Because if he didn't, his mama's gonna beat his ass. What house
his
did
ass,
y'all come from?
Right.
So I think when we see these rappers, the only time we see them is when they're in this character. So when you see somebody like Pac who showed his multiple sides, because even T.I. talked about it, it confuses you. Because the ones that actually are real are the ones that will show you them other sides. When you got niggas like The Game who literally took 20 years and wouldn't crack a smile, you know, Rick Ross. Nigga, do you talk to your mama like that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, y'all, you never see the vulnerable side. So when you see a person show a different side, your automatic to your brain goes, "Oh, he's faking that other side, that tough side, because tough guys don't care, or tough guys aren't funny, or tough guys don't," you know. That's why I said when me and you had that back and forth what, a week or two ago, like the Black Panthers was a lot of thug niggas. Them was street niggas.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, his mom put him on a plane with a Black Panther to the Bay Area, the home of the Black Panther. So when y'all talk about this transition, that's when the transition took place.
Yeah.
So that's why when I'm having that conversation with you, I'm telling you, "No, bro, my OGs was the ones that raised him in the Bay. That nigga got his first driver's license in the Bay. He bought his first AK in the Bay. Almost shot the outlaw, shot the couch up. You know what I'm saying? This nigga was a platinum artist in the middle of the hoodest house party in West Oakland. Jewelry on and everything. My thing about Pac is everything that people thought he was, there's evidence of him being that. A ladies' man. There's evidence of that. Him being this thug. That's how he died. He did what 90% of niggas out here wouldn't do. And walked up to that nigga and punched him in his face because he felt disrespected that the dudes took the chain. Whether it was smart or not, I'm saying he lived with what he said he was. Whereas when you got a lot of these rappers will talk all that shit and they gonna duck behind security when that situation come up. The revolution part. He saw two white people he didn't know was cops messing with a black man, and he hopped out and took the shit into his own hands. That's the type of action we're always talking about from these revolutionaries. You always talking when you gonna do some action. That nigga put in the work. And luckily those two cops was drunk and off duty, and that's how he beat that case. You know what I'm saying? You talking about nigga that got his ass beat by the Oakland police. And the reason why he didn't get them for, you know, some tickets was because he had to get a quick settlement from them to pay for his lawyers for that case that he caught.
Yeah.
But the Oakland police beat the dog shit out of him. You know what I'm saying? So I just think, you know, like T.I. said, he said, "I'll fuck your bitch, I'll lead a protest march, and I'll punch you in your motherfucking face." I'm all of that. I remember I had a thing with me and Jonathan Barreville, and he was just like, "You know, Tommy, I don't get it. One day you're on here talking about the streets, the next day you're talking about the military, the next day you're talking about being a father at home and a truck driver," because that's my life. But I think a lot of times, especially when you're dealing with like street individuals, you don't get to see the finished product a lot of times. So you don't get to see a Snoop turn into a grandpa. Not saying that he was the most head first into the streets, but if you know, you know. I just put it like this, nigga, that security ain't necessarily one that did that shooting.
Right.
He was the best person to put it on. So, you know, I think that's one of the biggest things that rap does is because once these dudes make it out and they become isolated from, you know, being able to face the usual repercussions of that life, you actually get to see these dudes evolve and grow old. And a lot of times when you see that, it messes you up because that's not normally what you see in the hood. Normally when you see somebody like that in the hood, it's two places they go, grave or jail. But if I become a rapper and I become big enough, I can now move out of that area and turn myself into a you know, a better person or whatever. And a lot of people will see that and, think that that's a indication that you might have been capping when you was coming up or whatever. But, I tell a lot of people, like, man, if you talk to a lot of these cats behind the scenes, bro, we got a nigga out here that was in San Quentin. He just got out. Shout out to Kurt. This nigga was making millions on Wall Street. In prison. Learned it all himself. How many dudes you know that literally had to go to the law library to work on their case and did a better job than their paid lawyer did? So I think we just have this image that, if you're really from the streets, you're just this ultra violent, dumb, goofy nigga. And anytime you show any signs of intelligence or another side, our brain automatically goes to, oh, you faking it. You know what I'm saying? And I think rap has a lot to do with it because, like I said, they tend to try to stay in character all the time. So you damn near start thinking that's what it really looks like. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And so one of the things that I think, just think about this. This man has been gone since, 96?
Yeah, it's coming up on 30 years.
Yeah. And so one of the things that I don't like is how people try to make him a martyr of something that he actually isn't. This was a guy that was multifaceted, and he was it was like the reason why people still talk about Pac is because it was kind of like he stood out so much in life, right? The little short time, we talking about 25, 26 years old, man.
5 years old, bro.
This man would be 53 years old right now. Yeah. And so to be from the young age that he was, that's why I was like, just look at that little margin that he had as a, going into adulthood and things like that. And myself, I didn't get a chance to be close to him and things like that. So I had to look at him from a whole different angle. And that was as an entertainer, right? A rapper, a person that acts but it was I think it was so interesting to see this guy, like when he goes into interviews, you're like, who I'm going to see? You know what I'm saying? It was like that. Like, you like, oh, they got Tupac on. Who I'm going to see? Which Tupac I'm going to see, right? Especially if all you knew was Bishop. You like, is that nigga? Because he acted, man, he played that scene so good, man. Yeah. Even on my apps, he said, he hit me for real. And he said, that motherfucker was like the attitude he had, it took a minute for him to get out of character after we went through that whole thing. So that's an interesting thing to deal with when you have somebody that's like, this dude was a poet, this dude was a rapper, this dude was, and then look at the when people bring him in as being a human being, right? I don't believe shit about what Jada Smith talking about. Yeah, you was kind of close to him, but bitch, some of your shit ain't adding up. Some of that shit just ain't fucking adding up. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you see the amount of time that this man had to live, right?
Yeah.
But when you hear somebody like a Shock G, a Tretch, Suge Knight, Snoop Dogg, you know what I'm saying? When you hear, think about this. A lot of people ain't understood this either. Chuck D, Ice Cube, Ice-T. Remember, all three of them, they did an album together. I mean, not an album, but a record together. And that record was dope as fuck. And when you, and this is on Tupac's album, Strictly for My Niggas, you will hear it on there. But when you hear how these folks, they was like, man, this dude was just, think about how much on the move he had to be, right? And then trying to have a life outside of my work ethic and all of this shit. That man wasn't sleeping a whole lot.
Yeah.
He wasn't sleeping a whole lot, man. He was really on the move. So that's why you would have a Dyson that would come up and say, we need to do a Tupac, like in a university. We need to actually do a study on this type of, because that is something that's, you didn't have a lot of people that can be that type of a person. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, the craziest part about this is Dot is almost the seed that he always talked about that he would plant.
Or the spark to spark something, the spark.
Because
yeah.
Even if you look at like To Pimp a Butterfly, because I told a lot of people didn't know how to listen to Pimp a Butterfly, but if you listen to Pimp a Butterfly, he was literally talking about the struggles that he was having, trying to juggle this life and then the home life, and like you could tell he was damn near having the same. That's why like when at the end he had that interview with Pac, you could hear the struggles that he was having in his head, which was kind of the same struggles Pac was having as far as dealing with the fame and stuff like that, and what comes with it. And even I tell people, even just looking at this battle, not to veer off, but if you look at the way that Kendrick did this battle, like, I don't even want to be like hyperbolic, but the shit was lightweight genius. I mean, just the strategy, not necessarily like the bars, that's for each their own. But the strategy that he did, I think he's going to be the next one that's going to be, God forbid something happened to him, but that he's going to be appreciated a lot more when he's gone than he is now. But I think I think Pac was all of that. I think he has the same struggle that a lot of people have in the hood, where a lot of people don't know that a lot of the cats that end up in trouble don't necessarily want to be in that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I go back to Menace to Society, and bro, it's the realest shit ever. You can literally go to the liquor store with your homeboy and be accessory to murder with the snap of a finger. I was just talking to my brother, matter of fact, that's locked up right now. And me and him was talking, and he was talking about how many cats is in there that are like just regular dudes. They not street dudes, but one mistake. They went with the homie here. You feel me? They was only supposed to rob this nigga, but this dumb nigga decided to smoke the nigga. Just weird shit. My little brothers had two homeboys. They just got hella drunk. They ended up going to 7-Eleven and getting into it with the clerk, punched him up, and took like 2 things that might have been like $10. What they call it? Strong arm robbery.
Strong arm robbery, yeah.
Strong arm robbery. I'm talking put the helicopters out there and everything for them. And I know these kids. These kids ain't no thugs, bro. These good kids. But I think they gave them boys like 5-6 years in the pen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's what they're gonna get.
I think a lot of people don't like I said, like it's hard for them to see that multifaceted. I even go back to Dot. Like it's a rapper we got out here in Cali named AD. Bro, AD probably 6'2", close to 300. If not, he 275. He's a big ass nigga, right? I seen Coach Ferg put in the chat that Kendrick was 5'5", little guy. Bro, AD tells the story when they first met, nigga, Kendrick banged on that nigga. Because Kendrick thought he was a nigga from another gang that had fucked up with one of his homeboys. You get what I'm saying? So, and again, Kendrick don't carry himself that way. Glasses Malone was talking about it. He said, man, I'd have been on the tour buses with Kendrick. Now I had to pull this nigga because he was trying to get on somebody's head. But nobody would guess that if you saw, Kendrick and how he behaves himself. And that's my point is, again, if you with the shits, it doesn't mean that you have to be the super ignorant nigga all the time. And I think that's what everybody's so used to is, oh, he really from there. He on stupid nigga time all the time. And there's some that, whether they had to get there through survival or whatever, that have a different temperament. And I think when they end up in the public, people kind of read that different because, like I said, I seen the comments when I was on Angry Man Show from like a couple of little nerd niggas on his comments. Like, oh, he's a nerd like us. Run up on that nigga in 2 years. Run up on that nigga. You saw what happened when they started thinking Nipsey was a cool guy. You remember that? When they walked up to Nipsey with them cameras, and he said, "Nigga, I'm a neighborhood Crip first, nigga. Respect that."
Yeah.
Like I said, when you get put up, and Nipsey was another guy. Like I said, he wasn't acting ignorant all the time. He talked about himself reading. He actually was you know, he sounded legible. He didn't sound like an idiot all the time. He made sense when he talked. And what happened? People got comfortable and forgot. Nah, this is a
he was shit. He was invested into new technology. Shit that ain't even out yet. Yeah,
but bare bones, when a nigga walked up to him, he was a neighborhood 60. You get what I'm saying? When they was at that BET thing, and he felt disrespected by security, he slapped the shit out that nigga.
That's where. That's where I think that what a lot of people don't realize, and I'm talking about a lot of us black folks don't realize, is that that's what we have that the rest of the world don't have. Mm-hmm. That multifaceted type of a thing.
Yeah.
Where, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why, when people look at entertainers, let's go with entertainers, right? And it don't just stop with entertainers.
Yeah.
But when they get into rooms that we didn't think that they can get into, it's kind of like, no, actually, they are the fucking room.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's because you would have people that look at money.
Yeah.
And if they looking at entertainment and they understand that animal and how to make money, that's what's going to bring. And it's always going to be somebody with some flavor. That's what I always say. Black folks, man, we got way more flavor than a lot of these folks.
We got the sauce.
We got the sauce.
Yeah, we sauce.
Entertainment is one thing. However, it don't stop with just being entertainment.
Yeah.
It's all kind of, man, when I go, this is the craziest part. Like, my brother, he's big on golf. I got a couple of friends that's real big on golf. Like, a lot of people don't know. Black people is all into golf right now.
No, Tiger Woods made the spark, but nah, a lot of people
but they do it because that's how you get business.
Oh, yeah.
When you go to those spots, man, and you see, and I guarantee when you see black folks at those clubs, those golf clubs, guarantee they about business.
Yeah, for sure.
Guarantee they about business. It ain't like how it used to be.
Yeah.
You like, well, shit, we talking about, what, $700 some a month to be in a club. And that's cheap to be in some of those clubs. Some of those clubs is a couple of $1,000 to be in there a month, right?
It's always been a place for business, JT.
It's always my point. That's my point. So, but when we go there, when you see, it ain't like you got some, like they try to put it in movies, like you got black folks that's in there. They be on the golf course. What they doing? Being a buffoon and shit. You know what I'm saying? Racing the golf course, the golf carts and shit. Using hockey sticks to hit the ball and all that shit. No, these cats are serious about, for one, they serious about the game of golf. Motherfuckers be rocking, but they're also big on business. Every time you would go there, it's somebody, if you see a man is there and he's black, I guarantee he on his motherfucking game right now, bro. He know what he doing. But the narrative that, you know, in order for you to do that, you cooning or all this crazy ass shit. I'm like, dog, we've been in America for too damn long. You better start taking your spot and quit being a goddamn. Listen, we already understand that racism is there. We understand that bigotry is always there. We understand all those different things. But does that stop us from being who we are in America? If we don't want to be this in America, guess what we got the option to do? Go to another country. Guess where you can go? It ain't too far. You can go to Canada. You can go to Mexico. It don't cost a lot of money to go to neither one of those spots. you can go right there and you can do whatever the fuck you want to do over there. And I guarantee you now, if you go over there to Canada, guess what Canada gonna do? You're gonna send your ass right back over here because they ain't too much different. I'm 15 minutes away. You already know, coach. I'm 15 minutes away from Canada. Right across the
bridge, right across
the bridge. The Ambassador Bridge, right there.
You 4 hours away from Toronto.
You dig? I get there 3.5. It don't matter. And I go through Kingston and go to, you know what I'm saying? I used to be stationed in New York. So it took me 5 hours to get to New York going through Canada or whatever. But, you know.
Fort Drum. You was at Fort Drum.
Yeah, I was at Fort Drum.
Yeah, I had an ex that's from Detroit, and she used to tell me they used to go across the border to get liquor. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I did not know y'all was that close to Canada.
Mm-hmm. We right there, but they looking at us because guess what? When they in Windsor and they see in the summertime, we lit. They come over to us. We don't go over there, that boring ass city over there. They come over to the D. You dig what I'm saying? And they go to our casinos. We don't go to their casinos. We used to when we only had one casino. We used to go over there, but nah, it's lit. But my whole thing is this. The thing is this. I don't want people to think that we, in specifically talking about Pac, that he was just this thug guy and he was only one type of a person. Like me and you had the back and forth. What I say? I said on some real ass shit. I love that dude. I wish I got a chance to be at one of his concerts. But I understood that. I'm like, damn, he stood in his own fucking way. But I mean, he lived his life. When you look at it,
say, when you get to our age, see, back then it was hard to grasp because we was around his age. He was a little bit older than me.
Yeah.
But now we get to our age, like I said, you get to an age when you go, damn, you don't know shit at 25.
You don't know a goddamn thing at 25. I don't care how rich you are.
It makes you look at it different and go, damn, this dude accomplished all of that. Man, like you said, 30 years later, they still talking about this dude.
Yeah.
That only lived to 25. He ain't even reached Jesus' age. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did a lot.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry.
No. And this is the thing. You can see it now. Let me tell you how crazy it is for me to see Tretch, right? Because that was my guy, dog. I ain't gonna even lie. Tretch was one of them dudes where he never claimed to be a gangster. He just claimed to be a ghetto child. You dig what I'm saying? And now he ain't got the dreads, he ain't got the locks no more. He got the bald head, he got the tapered mustache, and he's just a middle-aged man, but he still do concert shit. Look at Meth. Go ahead.
JG, what I'm saying is, even from the evolution of the music, the dress code, he still took on that persona in his performances. He had that thuggish look that, it was just a different look as during that time. And that a lot of that embodiment evolved as Tupac's career evolved. It sort of took on that persona. And for the last 30 years, like Tommy said, y'all was kids. Y'all was like, what the hell? And now seeing it from the other side, and you can look back over the last 30 years and see how music has sort of just been a divisive mechanism when it comes to the hip hop. Now it used to be rap, now they call it hip hop. But that was the crossover where the persona just took on this negative life and color. It didn't just affect the music, because who was that? Too Short had a song said the B word. He said the B word 20-something times. Now you got songs cussing from beginning to end, and it's still talking about niggas ain't shit.
So this is where I'm at. I used to be on the fence with this whole the messaging that hip hop have and all of that stuff. I'm not on the fence anymore. I'm at this point right here. Hip hop is everything. It's good. It's the bad. It's the ugly. It's all of it. The problem that I have is when it's only one thing. That's the problem I have. I don't have a problem with if you had, for instance, like look what we got right now, how rap has become, where you just got a bunch of women talking about whoredism. They just being whores, right? And they, I have a problem with it because their audience is little girls all the way down to 7. If they can talk, and now it's little boys. You know what I'm saying? And when you hear what is available to them and what they choose, now get this right. It's a lot of this music. It ain't just Red or what's her name? All these other women that's out here. There's a lot of rap music that's still out here that's, banging. But what they choose is what's marketed right in front of them, right? Everything else is playing the back seat to it. And that's where I have a problem with it. I never had a problem in the 90s for, especially being young, because I was young. I was, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, Pac was one of them, Ice Cube, NWA, but I also had X-Clan. I also had, you know what I'm saying? KRS is always, I mean, come on, bro. It's always been. I also had, you know, like, because we grew up with it. So we have a whole vast majority of everything. I ended up kind of checking out I checked out of hip hop probably about 2012. I kind of checked out, right?
Yeah.
It was it. You know, I went right back to, and I've always listened to R&B. I always listened to jazz, but now that's on the front of my list now, right? Especially jazz. It's my shit. And then hip hop is still there where I check in on it, you know, see what's happening with it, but it ain't there no more. It ain't what it used to be. Now, if I'm active and I'm spinning records, or they don't even call it spinning records no more, but if I'm active on that, on a circuit, right, and I'm DJing, I got to play it all. It ain't nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing for me to grab my, you know, my external drives and start loading them babies up. Or now they got it where you ain't even got to put it on the external drive. You got the option to stream the music while you playing it. Now I said, God damn, they just found another way to make money off us, huh? But
JT, I have a question for you though.
Yes, sir.
Based off your history of music, right? You've been into it for a long time. You've seen and heard all the genres per se, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say you like the time, and like you said, in that early 2004, 2005, I would say in probably the late 90s, it started to just being more divisive. Do you like a time in the music where the artists would give a rap about the tough and bustle of the life in the inner city, but they would do it at a skills level where they didn't have to use a lot of curse words? So once you saw I don't know exact year, but when that rap industry turned towards the more divisive curse words, not just talking about the rough life, but it's now me attacking you, you attacking me, we're attacking each other's mama, sister, the bitches out here ain't shit, the motherfucker, you know. Do you think, and if you could choose, I guess you would say era, genre, style, or whatever, which one would you choose? The one where you can hear the rap in the club and dance to without all the cursing, or just the divisive cursing style that's here today? And this is why I give Kendrick this. His song, it didn't have, you know, I hate niggas in it. Mm-hmm. It was a lyrically put together song. It was, the music was hitting, the lyrics were tough, and to me, it can resonate throughout the land. Mm-hmm. You know, and I say in Drake's situation, he's been rocking across the country and outside of America, and it's been more clean, like a Will Smith style. So do you like that Will Smith style, or that fuck you bitches and hoes, niggas ain't shit style?
To be honest, I like all of it. If I gotta be honest. If I'm in the car and I'm feeling thugged out, bro, I'm playing it all. I've never had an issue with swearing. I just never had an issue with it like that. I just had an issue when it was just like, if I didn't have an option to you know, to hear what I want to hear, I would have a bigger problem. But if I was, like, for instance, being a DJ, I have to listen to everything. So I'm listening to it all. And then I'm listening to other DJs play. And then I'm listening to, you know, I have to listen so much shit. And I'm just, as I'm listening to it, I'm either downloading it, putting it on my phone, whatever, transferring it over on my, so when I'm listening to it, it's going to move me, right? But my consciousness is just not going to let it pierce my sensibilities, right? So if I'm at a club, I know what I got to do. If I'm looking and I read the room, I know what I'm about to play. It's about to be on and popping, baby.
For sure.
To tear this shit. I'm about to tear it up. You know what I'm saying?
That's the signs, but that's the signs of a great DJ. One, I can see and hear. Now, the question I want to ask you, in those different styles or forms or whatever, would you play that crunk type of music around your children that we see today? Okay, so
I've never played it. I never played that music. I played rap around my kids, but I've never played. However, nigga, my kids is listening to all that garbage ass shit.
Outside of, but what I'm saying, JT, outside of you, what I'm saying is outside of you, you like you know what I'm saying. Even I'm with you. I listen to all the cursing music. If it got a nice beat to it,
I'm rocking with it. Yeah, no, but when I had my kids.
But what I'm saying is you didn't listen to it. You didn't bring it in your house pumping. You didn't hear your mama playing that, and you look over and see your friends.
So
that's what they growing up with. It's
a song right now. It's a song that I love, and this is one of my guilty pleasures, bro. It's a song that I just love, and it's funny because I had all the cats that was from the East Coast when we on the basketball team. I'm in Germany. We in the Army. I'm on the basketball team. And this song by Too Short, when I tell you, it used to get us crunk and it's called Cuss Words. 15 minutes long. 15 minutes long.
That song.
We knew every word when you play it. It's just something about the song. And he was just freestyling something. And that song was like, other than, what was the song? Doom, 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 do, 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 do. What was that? Freaky Tales? Yeah. I think it was Freaky Tales.
Yeah, Freaky Tales was nice.
Tales. That song and Freaky Tales was probably the two most popular thing in the hood that you would hear. Cuss Words is because it's just funny. Yeah. And it marks the time where we was, listen, when he made the song, now when the song came out, he was already probably about 17, 18, 19 years old. I have no idea. But you can tell that when he wrote part of that song, he was a kid, right? He was like, because he talked about Nancy Reagan. If you guys have never heard Cuss Words, go listen to it and you will see what I'm talking about with Too Short. That was crazy. And it's like, if you listen to the whole thing, I think it's like 15 minutes long, man. Yeah, and he's just going, no hook, no nothing. It was just him freestyling and he's saying some crazy ass shit. And you could tell it was kid shit. It was kid shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then he had another song called Fight the Feeling that was pretty dope. It was just the fact that being a fan of hip hop, like I can listen to some Short. And then right after I got that, I'm going to go and I'm going to crack open my man Rakim. Paid in full. Eric B. and Rakim. You know what used to be the dopest thing, man, because it mattered when you got either the album or the tape because the artwork was so dope. Mm-hmm. I remember what we used to do with the albums, we would put them up, we would make that
on the wall.
On the wall. We'd put them up on the wall. And when you buy it, you're actually reading the credits. Who wrote what song? You know, we knew who was the who was the record label. We knew who was the distributor.
The address, everything.
Yeah, we knew who wrote what. It was the dopest thing in the world. We'd be just sitting in a room looking and reading, because remember the albums used to open up. Like if you had a Prince song, a Prince album, and you bought a Prince album, dog, the artwork used to be so damn dope. And he'd have all the lyrics to his songs written out. And then on the other side, he'd have, the credits on there. And then in the front, you would see what it was just like that. And so with rap, it was kind of like that with us, Fat Boys. The Fat Boys was another one. Remember, this is when look, I loved it. We had, after the Fat Boys came the Skinny Boys. After the Skinny Boys, you had, and then this is like during the times, y'all. You had the Fresh Prince, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, and Reddy Roxy. You also had who else was doing beatbox at that time? And
Yeah,
people
yeah,
say what they say about
Dougie Fresh.
Yeah, people say what they want to say about Will Smith. Will Smith is an MC. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. Will Smith was on all the circuits, and he was rocking that shit. Jazzy Jeff, the Fresh Prince, and Ready Rock C. They got a tape, and I'm gonna start doing it because I'm gonna start putting when I start back broadcasting. I'm gonna start giving people links to my my Discord. I'm gonna start doing concerts, and I'm gonna start showing people how they got one with KRS-One. It was KRS-One, Fresh Prince, and Ready Rock C. Damn, it's a couple of other people that was on there. They got another concert where you had Eric B and Rakim. They got another, like you can see the concert. So I think I'm gonna start doing that on Discord. I'm gonna start, and we'll be just sitting back kicking it with that. But you had a lot of people, man. Listen, a lot of people don't know a lot about X-Clan, right? And basically what X-Clan was doing was that they was putting lyrics over dope as old school beats. It was so dope with what they were doing, and we actually caught on to it. But they also was beefed out with KRS-One. It was like, damn, I didn't even know. Like they got diss records, like some of the songs they was aiming it towards each other. And then you also had, like, when you had the guy, he was just, Rakim, Move the Crowd was so dope, man. And think about this too, Coach. The way that the music was mastered mattered.
Yeah.
Going back to Pac. The reason why it was so highly anticipated that Pac came to Death Row Records was because The Chronic was the dopest album at that time for 2-3 years straight. Even when you ask people, even when Doggy Style came out, nigga, Doggy Style, if you ask me between Doggy Style and The Chronic, I love Doggy Style. But most people would tell me, nah, The Chronic was the shit, right? Now imagine you got Chronic, Doggy Style, and then you got Tupac he about to come. You like, how's that shit go? You like, I want to hear how this shit gonna sound. Because we already understood when you had Dash Dillinger, you had, what was the other DJ? I can't remember the other producer. But you had, mostly it was Daz, Dre, and he had a couple of, DJ Quick. You had these dudes that was producers, man, that was on these albums, that was rocking the shit out these albums. You will see Dr. Dre on there, but when you see Doggy Style, and you find out that damn Daz did the majority of the producing, you know, the beats and shit like that.
Yeah, he did.
Even on the Chronic, when you see it and you see who they pulled on there, when you hear Doggy Style. They were ready, dog. It was like even when I hear it at the beginning, because you got to hear the intros, like they don't even do rap like that no more, do they? I don't even know. I don't listen to albums like that no more. But when you heard Doggy Style, you had to hear the intros, you had to hear the outros, you had to hear the intermissions, you had to hear all of that shit because it told a story. Like even when it first come on, I'm like, damn, I remember when I first got this. I still got the original CD, right? Of that. And when you hear when old boy was telling Snoop, he was like, shit, you talking about leaving the game? Nigga, when he said you can smoke all day, smoke a pound of weed all day,
yeah.
Ooh, you better come on in. And it was like Snoop, like, I'm about to go to the rap part of the game. You know what I'm saying? It was like, then he had the Lady of Rage come out there doing her thing. Then he had Dog Pound. Everybody was geeked and they was giving it their best. You can hear the effort that was in that album. Man, you could just hear every part of it. And it was like that in the Chronic. It was the same thing.
But see, to me, the time that you're talking, right? Because I think with Tupac, the album that solidified me with him as far as his style was Me Against the World. Right, because it was a lot of different little styles that he put in there. And
who was your favorite song?
Oh man, Man, I can't even. Boy, hold on. I got to look at the list before.
I ain't gonna even lie to you. The last song was my favorite. Death Around the Corner. I see Death Around the Corner.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, I like all that, man.
Yeah.
I like
but he said, gotta stay high while in the city where the skinny niggas die.
Man, that's what I'm saying. It was F the World, Heavy in the Game, Dear Mama, all that, man. Can You Get Away? All that was smooth.
Oh, Can You Get Away was my shit.
It Ain't Easy. Lord Knows. Hey, man, I'm telling you, it was.
Yeah.
But even then, even in that sort of, I guess, style, genre, just the way they approached the game, the rap music at that time, like you said, it wasn't clean cut. There was cursing and things like that, but it still didn't sort of go as derogatory when it came to whatever beefs or battles we had, into sort of that the end of Tupac, right? Him and Biggie's last little few year and a half they had. It sort of just turned to now everybody pointing fingers after that.
Yeah, I was, again, and especially during that time, it was a really bad time for me. One of the reasons was because I'm in the military, right? And I'm witnessing, and I'm deployed during this time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm witnessing so much crazy shit that's happening. People getting their family torn apart, people dying, all kind of crazy ass shit that was happening.
What part of the country were you at that time?
I was in Bosnia.
Like 9. Oh, okay.
I was stationed in Germany. My wife and my kid was in Germany, and I was deployed in Bosnia. And during that, so during that time, you get a chance to be in and out. Like we still get the news and all of that stuff of what's going on, but sometimes you just didn't. Especially I used to be in recovery, so I'd be out on the road for a very long time. Like I didn't know that Pac had died. I knew he was shot.
Okay.
I know he was shot, but I didn't know he died until probably about 2 weeks after his death.
Yeah. Okay.
All I knew was that he was shot. And then, when I seen people, they were like, man, Pac gone. And it was just like, damn. But even before that part of it happened, I didn't like the whole thing where they were talking about this whole beef and stuff and East Coast versus West Coast. Like, I didn't want to hear any of that, because I was just, at that time, man, I was just a collector of hip hop. Everything that was, even when we had the little stores in Bosnia, I was buying, I don't care. I ain't even heard the music. And I used to buy anything that was new, I'm grabbing it up. I don't care what it was. If it was new, I'm grabbing it up, man. But that was how much I was so enthralled in hip hop. I was just a man that just loved it. And I hated that part of it. I didn't like the part of that beefing. Especially when you have Biggie and Pac and all that other shit, man. Jeff, what says you, man? Hold on. I'm still listening to you guys. Let me get this right quick. Go ahead, brother.
Hello?
I can hear you, man.
Y'all there? Okay. Yeah, man. It's so hard to and it's a testament to the genius of our people that it's so hard to say who was the greatest. There's so much great. There's so much great. To call Tupac great is not an exaggeration. To say he's the greatest, that's when there's a difference between great and greatest, when greatest can be measured. You can't measure greatest, because in order to say that, I gotta say he was better than Biggie. And bruh, Biggie's vocal tone is to hip hop what Luther Vandross was to R&B. His tone. I mean, Biggie's tone was perfect. It was perfect. It was letter made. Before you even get to the jazz that he took to his cadence, Before you get to his stories and how they hit, just his tone was so important in hip hop. So, and then, bro, what you gonna do with Nas? What you gonna do with Rakim? What you gonna do with KRS? Come on, man. They're all great. All these hits, Redman, Method Man. What you gonna do with them? Duos, EPMD. What you go, bruh? What? All that music is great. So I can't necessarily, I no longer engage in who's greatest anymore because it's fodder for arguments and weed smoke. But it's not, if I bring up, I can bring up points about your shortcomings. I mean, the best to get this out of hip hop for just a minute. The best argument for Michael Jordan being the best basketball player ever, and I have no argument in this fight. I have nothing. You could spit out some stats that would destroy my argument because I don't care about basketball. I don't really watch it. But I heard somebody say they were debating LeBron versus MJ.
Oh man.
Yeah. And dude said, okay, does LeBron have flaws? And the dude advocating for him said, yeah. He said, well, what are they? Well, he had problems going left. And he went through this list that he had to admit these were LeBron's problems on the floor. Dude said then, what are Jordan's flaws? What were Jordan's flaws in his game? And the dude couldn't say nothing. He said, right there, we can stop talking. We can stop talking about it. We can stop talking about stats. We can stop talking about rings. What were Jordan's flaws when the whistle blew? What were LeBron's? Next subject.
Mm-hmm.
That right there, that's basketball. That's an easy one. To me, that's the best argument I've ever heard for who's greatest. But I can't make a who's greatest argument with hip hop. I just can't do it because of what's great for me. That's why that's my issue with Kendrick. I think Kendrick is very talented. Do I think he's the greatest? No. The first one to say this shit. No, come on, bro.
Right. You've been living long enough to know that we've heard this before, we've seen this before, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let me be 100% candid about this whole thing. I hate where hip hop has went. Mm-hmm. I can't stand it, right? Because we had so much. It was like it was more than just promise, bro. Think about this, y'all. Man, the style that hip hop has brought, not just the rap, but think about the names that people did. Listen, Kendrick Lamar is the dopest thing in the world to be as an MC, to have your MC name is, right? Eric Sherman. Mm-hmm. He wasn't E-double up as it evolved. He named himself certain things, but they came as that. Now watch this. I was talking with some brothers a couple of years ago about what's the dopest MC name that we've heard, right? It was mostly when people were saying it, Scarface, right? Some people said Scarface was dope. Some people said that Eminem was dope. Now, Eminem was definitely dope because it had like 4 or 5 entendres on it. M and them, Matthew Mathis, M&M. And then you had the way he spelled it, right? It was just, it's crazy how he thought that much of the persona of him and the impact that he's going to make from the name.
One color on the outside, chocolate on the inside.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah, it's so dope. Where you like, wow, he really thought about it. Ice Cube, Cold and Hard. That shit was kind of dope. And it was simple, right? These were simple names. Too Short. He's a short dude. But it was other things that went with it also. So it was like these guys gave themselves names and they thought about it before they actually brought them out. But like when I heard Eric Sherman, I was like, that was kind of dope. Even when Redman, his name was Redman. Why? Because he got hit in the face with a snowball. And because he's light-skinned, his face turned red. And he just had the name. So it wasn't even a rap name. It was just what was given to him. A lot of people did it, but they gave thought to it. But what did he end up doing? Naming himself what his government was. Reggie Noble. They took the time out to actually do it. Do y'all remember when Redman, and I think this what made him a little bit dope to me, was when everybody was doing MTV Cribs.
Oh, he did that funky little spot he was staying at. It was hilarious.
Yes. What he did was he saved his money. He saved his money. Like the man got money out the wazoo now, right? Even when, look at what he did with his health. Look at what he, you know what I'm saying? It was like, it was, I think it was just the point of it being everything, right? It was just everything, man. And that's what I took pride in, it being everything. When you heard the rappers that came out, it was just so many. Think about how many rappers it was and how many people actually made it. Even when you got like in Detroit, we got rappers that we call local rappers, but they probably was a little bit bigger than local rap. You know what I'm saying? But they meant something to the city. Even though some of that stuff coming from Detroit, I don't like listening to a lot of that damn music that they have because it just got so bad where everybody was doing the same thing and it was all about degeneracy. Mm-hmm. And you're like, this ain't where we supposed to be at with that. Where's the other? So the ones that was actually doing a thing where you had the guys that, what's their name, man? That song that came out with the song, I'm Selfish. They did it with Kanye and Dilla. What's the name of them? And they from Detroit. I can't even remember their damn name right now. That's a damn shame. I'm sorry.
D12?
D12 was that was Eminem and all the other him and the Dirty Dozen. That was that I like that crew too, but it just wasn't the right time for them because when my man what's his name got killed, that was the end of that. That was the end of that. You still got them still trying to do their thing. And Eminem still, he still has his loyalty to those dudes on one end. But no, it's not there. Slum Village. Oh, yeah. When you hear Slum Village, man, Slum Village is so dope, man. And it wasn't about all that crazy ass shit. But their music was just tight. That's why you had a Kanye dealing with them. That's why Dilla. When Dilla, man, it's just so many people that Dilla dealt with, man, where being from
think
Detroit.
Of her, think of me.
Oh, man.
Come on, man.
Even just listening to his formula and looking at, he was giving them some real motherfucking nuggets, man. That producing shit is a dope thing. And Jeff, you know a lot about that, bro. So you know what I'm saying? When you hear it, bro, it's like him, Ninth Wonder. You know what I'm saying? When so hip hop with me was way deeper than just the MC. It's all of it to me, especially the production. When I hear people, man, it's just, that's why when I said the first Tupac album, when you hear the production, you didn't hear the clarity in it, right? And then it just got better. Strictly for my niggas got better. But when you like, I can't wait to hear Pac over some Daz, over some Dre, over some you know what I'm saying? That's what you like, man. This dude, this is gonna be out cold. It was like so anticipated, man. It was like, wow. because we're looking at more than just the one thing of it. It's everything. I just saw they got this thing, and man, YouTube is just so dope. They got this thing called On the Porch, right? Remember, if you guys ain't seen Tiny Desk, it's the dopest thing. Now it's starting to get crazy because they starting to have some motherfuckers that don't need to be on the tiny desk. But when you got that, but when you got the porch, I think these dudes are based out of DC. They had MC Light, they had my man Master G from I think he was probably one of the first ones that they had on there. I'm not sure how long they've been on, but I just tapped into them a couple of weeks ago, and they had Master G from the Sugar Hill Gang. And knowing what I know about them and live that history, I remember the day that they were on Dance Fever, and they did the what was it? Rapper's Delight, right? By that time, I knew all the lyrics to Rapper's Delight. Now I get a chance to see who they are. I'm like, oh, this shit is crazy to see them. I was like, wow. And I'm like, man, and this is a kid. I'm a kid. Knew all the lyrics to it. But then you had Apache. You know what I'm saying? But then you also had Grandmaster Caz. You had the funky, what was it? Not the, what was it? The 4+1, but the female funky 4+1, something like that.
Right. I know.
So when you see the evolution of it and you be like, this is where it's at. And then it takes a turn and you just be like, what the fuck just happened, y'all? Rap was never boring to me. It was never boring at all to me. Once they started doing, everybody was trying to tap into it. I know y'all remember in the 80s when you had Wendy's out here, got people that's trying to rap. When you had Toys R Us, they were trying to rap. You had preachers trying to rap. Everybody was trying to get into the market of rap. They were trying, they seen what it was, what it was about. And then the evolution, once that in the 90s, man, that shit was crazy. I don't know if y'all ever seen a movie called Who's the Man? Dr. Dre and Ed Lover. If you go back and watch it now, you be like, damn, a lot of these motherfuckers are mega stars now. They weren't mega stars. They were just a bunch of rappers that they put into there. If you seen Crush Groove, acting was terrible, but we all went to go see it. Every one of us. And that was based around the Fat Boys. A lot of people thought it was based around Run DMC, but it wasn't. Fat Boys was the biggest group at that time. They got a chance to get a deal. But the acting sucked. Sheila E. was in there. You had New Edition was in there. Then you had, what was the other one that hip hop started rocking? And that was B Street. When you had B Street, you had, you know, Dougie Fresh. You had the New York City Breakers, which, by the way, a lot of these dudes are still in the industry. Some of them are producers and DJs. Some of them are choreographers. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember? You remember the guy Master Wave? Have y'all Mr. Wave? They were just talking to him. This is what hip hop is supposed to be. Can you imagine hearing Tupac right now? Dad bod, big ass beard. No man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He already didn't have no hair or whatever. Being able to talk about hip hop now, 52, 53 years old, Tupac, being able to, you know what I'm saying, to really talk about it now. We hear other people doing it. Can you imagine having Biggie? You know what I'm saying? Being able to, and I don't know, Junior Mafia Records or some shit. I don't know what it will be. Thug Life Records. You know what I'm saying? And that evolved into some shit or whatever. Can you imagine what would have been the dopest thing in the world? How many collaborations it probably would have been? I think, and this is just me, y'all, We had too much death in hip hop. Unsensible death in hip hop. And I think it just stood in the way of a lot of progress that could have happened. Right now, this shit is boring as hell. You know what I'm saying? It's boring. Look, Puppy gone. He out of there. I don't care if they let the man go. What he gonna do? Come back? Take that? It's over with.
Well, I don't think we could ever call Puffy a lyricist.
No, I ain't talking about him being a lyricist at all. I'm just saying as far as being a businessman. I don't even call him a producer, dog. He ain't never pushed a button. Come on, man. Well, he had his squad to do that. Now, I'm the nigga that you can give the credit to, but he was a businessman
you got to watch that because Quincy Jones didn't push many buttons either.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. How many instruments can Quincy Jones play? If you
two that I know of.
No, he played way more than two. He played in exactly. Think about this. Quincy Jones worked until he died, my guy.
Okay.
Quincy Jones, he made his money off of scores. Scores. This man played cello, violin, of course, piano, drums. He played the congos. He played pretty much any instrument. If you look at his that man was so out, and he wrote music. I ain't talking about writing just lyrics. This man was writing note for note. You know that song from
JT, this is so funny how you.
What was the song that was done? The score he did for my man from England.
You're talking about the theme to Austin Powers.
Austin Powers,
bruh. I'm okay. I first off, number one, Quincy Jones didn't play drums. Quincy Jones played the trumpet, the flugelhorn,
not with the trumpet,
gang of brass instruments. Okay, nobody loves Quincy Jones more than me, and I don't even want to. I know a little bit about Quincy Jones. I don't even want to go into it, man. Mm-hmm. I don't. I'm just Quincy Jones. While he was writing, did not. Yes, he spent time behind the mixing board, but Quincy producing became something else later. That the metric that you're using to say that Puffy wasn't a producer, you can't because of Quincy Jones. Now, was Quincy to put them in the same category is foolish. No. Am I saying that Puffy could sit down to sheet music and write it? No. Am I saying that Puffy could lead a band the way Quincy Jones led Frank Sinatra's band? No. I'm saying that Quincy Jones, to use Quincy Jones as a Puffy's not a producer because of, well, then Dre isn't a producer because of. There's a gang of niggas I can line up that ain't producers if you're going to measure them by Quincy Jones. No.
So let me clarify this. No, first and foremost.
And then I got to run. It's Valentine's Day, man. I really wish. I really want to be with my wife more.
Right.
So go ahead.
Oh, no. This is the thing about production. Mm-hmm. A producer, they don't have to be a guy that sit back and push the buttons.
Then you can't. Then you're killing your argument about Puffy.
No, I'm saying. Let me clarify. That's why I said let me clarify.
Okay.
You have certain producers that do certain things. If you see Puffy, there's not a song that Puffy actually pushed buttons to. Like I said, he had his squad to do it. However, Puffy also, he knew how to get that song played. He had to listen to it. He had to be one of the ones to say, hey, listen, yep, that's a good one. Let's go. No, that's not good. That's a producer also. But as far as saying if he was if he was more of hands-on when it came down to the grunt of it, no. He ain't push no buttons. But yeah, you're right. To say that he's not a producer, that's unfair to say that he's not a producer. So I agree with that.
All right, fellas, you've been trumped by a bigger name. I gotta run, but dope show to be continued. Good job, fellas. Keep it up.
Most definitely, man. Go ahead, man. Yeah, what you got to say about it, Tommy? What you done did? You done muted yourself. Ferg, you had to add something to it, brother?
I mean, listen, man, music is to be, man, I grew up on the 70s R&B, came into a young teenager in the 80s when rap was sort of the breaking out for myself. I still remember my mama having me turn down my boom box.
I had one too. Did you have the one with the double? Did you have one with the double tape deck?
That was no, not my first one. Not my
your first one. Right.
But I did have detachable speakers though.
Oh, okay.
I had one like that. You know what I'm saying? So
did you walk down the street with the double with the D batteries in it? Did you walk down the street with it on your shoulders?
Listen. I did it one time. I took it to the basketball court. You know what I'm saying? And I had to put it on up with the speakers facing out. Like,
yeah,
I did it one time. I did because when I got to the court, I remember like, man, what if somebody try to steal it or kick it? Or, you know what I'm saying? Something happened to it. So I didn't do that, but I like that type of, young people getting outside because it's about people outside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the musical, and I'll just say some of this, the musical lyrics of that time was probably the greatest sound you started to hear. Because rap music, as we called it at the time, was showing a lot of talent. And there was no talk of who was the greatest or who was the best. It was just young guys getting out there, putting together great lyrics without pointing the finger and saying, I'm gonna beat you up. But the language. See, the language is sort of the thing that sort of takes me like, because I like music that you can dance to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And when I'm around the boys and stuff, yeah, we can listen to some of that old hard ankle stuff. But I've always been a guy that loved the music that it's like, even with, like you said, Too Short, the guys that came out early, they had a hard edge about it, but it was sort of clean. You know what I'm saying? You can play it around your pops. And
what was on the top of your list, though? What was on the top of your list? Because
give me a time frame.
So I was just about to say, because we've been living a very long time. So, all right. So 88, 91. What was on your list?
Man, it was. I would say do I have to just give one?
Nah, you can give one.
Right, so I'm gonna go LL, like Run DMC, because I went to see all the concerts. Everybody concert I went to go see, and when I saw them live, I'm like, yeah, they for real. LL was out there hot, especially when
let me see what song was out during that time. Let me see.
Man, Eric being Rakim, they was hard. KRS-One, Public Enemy. On the West Coast, it was more, just Too Short for the most part that, coming out. And then you had, what was that? The Chronic in '92.
All right, so look at it. Look at this. I gotta say this. Do you remember? Because a lot of people, if you ain't never listened to a LL album, You're not gonna even understand what we're talking about. Remember the song "Go Co-Creator"?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You had that. Go Co-Creator. Now, Rock the Bells was in, I think, 84.
That was 86. It was 86.
86.
Yeah, because I was a senior in high school, and we had a riverboat called the Belle of Louisville. And they played that song for 4 straight hours, man. And
yeah, so Bigger and Deffer was the album that he had with Go Co-Creator. That one right there is probably my favorite album.
Yeah,
that's probably my favorite LL album. That one right there, because he had the doo-wop, he had he had rock and roll, doo-wop, and then he had the song, probably my favorite, because this was where what was the song that went hard was
you don't know the names more than me.
What was that song?
That was
it was on that album. Let me just look up.
I'm Bad. Was it I'm Bad?
I'm Bad. Now remember when LL's I'm Bad came out, who else I'm Bad came out? Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson and they both, the music sounded very close together. It had that Batman sound. Both of them had that damn superhero shit.
Doom, 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 doom.
Yeah. It was crazy when that came out. But
you remember Prince said that he was supposed to be on that song?
Yeah. And he said when he said your butt is mine.
He said, whose butt is yours? I was dying laughing. I said, yeah, that was a
part. We had dinner together and that was it. And we didn't do nothing. We didn't talk to each other no more after that one. But yeah, that right there, Bigger and Deffer was probably my favorite. Other people had, they had the other one. He had another one called, where he had, remember in 88, I'm That Type of Guy. Going back to Cali. It was like he gave different looks of what Cool J was, right?
But hold on, JT. Hold on. Okay, so let's take that time artist to today. Wouldn't you sort of give Drake and LL same similar switch up styles in a sense? Because LL was a clean rapper. He had club hits.
I think the hardest part about that, I get what you're saying, Ferg, but I think the hardest part about that is LL was a real nigga.
But I understand that. I ain't talking about their character. I'm talking about the music.
No, but I'm saying, but with hip hop, that bleeds into the music. So it's like when I'm listening to it, that's why LL was able to get away with the love songs like he was, and he's not looked at the way that Drake is.
Yeah, I can.
But Drake wasn't. LL did them songs for the chicks. Niggas wasn't about to try him.
But I don't care about that crack era beef, Tommy, man. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't care. I understand that's the character. Off the records, off the studio, when it come down to ninjas, that's the character. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying as far as styles of music, because you could take a Drake song and take it to the club, and everybody's mama and daddy's dancing.
There's similarities.
And at that time, you could take a LL song, and they was bumping LL at your mama's picnic, the park, the club, everywhere.
I can get similarities to it. I can get similarities. This is the thing, because
LL
like
went
that.
pop. So and Drake is pop. So and not saying that in a bad way.
They knew the business, right? Yeah. They knew the business. Exactly. They knew, like, I got to get this bread. If somebody telling you got $30 million on the table, come on, man. Why should it hurt to do it like that, right? Because listen, this is the thing. When you start getting to the age that we are right now, right? LL does not do albums. None of these guys that come out doing albums or concerts and stuff, they're not doing it so they can get stardom. They already stars, right? So
no, they just doing what they want to do now.
When I listen to that album LL have, I can appreciate it, right? he already understands. I'm not doing this shit for a bunch of fucking record sales, nigga. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So he did it because he wanted to, like, when you hear the people that he have on there that's doing a collaboration, some of these motherfuckers he's giving shine to. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, hell yeah, this is what it is. So this is where I get to the point where I'm like, nah, man, we need to get to a point where we can just appreciate it. Like, we can appreciate the past, but we can look forward and still give, you know what I'm saying, appreciation to what's happening in front of us in the present. And you know what I'm saying? So the future can look a lot brighter than what it is right now. I don't like what I see.
I don't
Go ahead.
like.
I'm with you.
I don't know though, because like, okay, you could say Cole, Drake, and Kendrick is like the 3 top right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
None of them niggas is talking about selling dope or anything wild or nothing like that. None of them is pushing that.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't really say that when we was coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of them was like I don't know if you want to say the bad guy, the street guy, something like that. But it wasn't, if you had a top 3 at the time, somebody was talking about selling some dope or something. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it.
All of them could be considered kind of like positive influences. You get what I'm saying? Just based off of their music. And then, I mean, if you want to go deeper with some of the shit we'd heard about Drake or the accusations on Kendrick, that's another thing. But I'm saying as far as like public persona wise and their music, those are 3, you know, stand-up dudes.
That's why I can't never, right. So that's why I have to get to the point. Like I said, I kind of checked out over, 15 years ago, right? I'm not into it like I used to be. So yes, absolutely. For a guy that, I just stick my head in for a minute to see what's happening, right?
Yeah.
And that's where it does get to the point where this is what I can appreciate, right?
Yeah.
So like with Kendrick, I appreciate his music, period.
Yeah.
With Drake, and the same thing with Drake, I don't have the criticism that people that are still 100% tapped in to hip hop have.
Yeah.
So it's shit like, man, I got so much Drake, and I'm talking about shit that was like 13 years ago. I got so much Drake shit on my motherfucking side on my external, where I'm like, oh yeah, this is, he had club bangers and all kind of stuff. And then he had some other things. So I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just one of those dudes where I just appreciate it. That's it. Yeah. I don't have all the other shit, and I had to let it go. Yeah. If that makes any sense. Like me being a critic, like how I used to be a critic, I ain't that critic no more. I ain't that nigga.
Yeah.
I just want to appreciate it.
JT, where you are with music, I'm like that with music, but I'm also like that with football and sports, right?
There you go. Yeah.
I'm not gonna just be highly critical of a team because it ain't my team. So even with the music, that's why I say I don't even care about that off the stage. When they walking in the streets and in the club, I don't care about that. That's ninja shit. But as far as the artistry is what I look at when it comes to any music genre, is the artistry. And what I see is that, just what the reality is. It even with early sort of that when they tried to give it a gangster rap label, it spoke of the hardships of life, but it wasn't pointing the finger like, you know what I'm saying, I could take you out. And then you see how brothers, but then you see how even the people that like a certain artist, what I've heard about people when they have an artist they know from their town or city, they favor those more. They give them like, okay, they're at the top of this. And there's no problem with that. I think as time from 2024 going forward, Kendrick's music will be elevating because we just seen he's winning Grammys in 2000, I guess, you know what I'm saying? And ain't really no artist really put out no new music over the past year. Even Drake, whatever he got going on, he ain't really got nothing new popping out. And now Kendrick is in that spot. And I'm looking forward to see how he can take the music that he's getting. People are starting to listen to past Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people didn't know Kendrick's music like it, but a lot of people are paying attention to it. But I'm looking to see how the music can elevate to, like you said, to a space where everybody can sort of expand the listening ear of it, to where the message is building upon who we are, not sort of taking us down to where we just gonna be fighting for the next 20 years over some shit that most people won't do and can't do. And these people have a voice to sort of push that. So I'm excited about it.
For sure. Tommy, you was about to say something, bro?
Yeah, I don't think the critique of like a Drake is not it's not really an outside of music thing. Like one of his critiques that they've been had about him is him stealing people's styles and stuff, and basically deadening the person's career. So he'll find somebody that's kind of like an up and coming artist, and he'll jack the style, and then pretty much flatten out the blackball them. So that's been one of the things that's why people have been saying that he deserved the shit was because he's basically been like a piece of shit behind the scenes as far as like, and I'm talking like musically, as far as whether it's stealing verses, whether it's charging somebody 110% to do a feature, meaning he get 100% of the money from the song, then 10% whenever you perform it. Like that's why like the Migos, they never performed Versace.
Okay.
He had 110% of that. If they performed it, then he would have had to get a cut from them. Ain't that crazy?
That's crazy as fuck.
Yeah. So and that's why, like, when you hear the Kendrick fans saying that he full of shit with the case, that's what we're talking about. It's like, nigga, he was literally moving like the very people that you suing. That's the irony of the situation is you're suing because you felt like they moved the way that you've been moving. You know what I'm saying? You been had the bots, you been had the machine behind you. And like I said, when he signed with Lucian, he said they was the new Kobe and Shaq. That's how tapped in he was with the machine. You know what I'm saying? But the moment this shit don't go your way, now you got a problem. And I think that's a couple of issues that they got with him per se. But I have gotten to the point now where I think when we were coming up, that outside persona did matter. As far as like if they was really with it and all that type of shit. But I think got to the point now where you're not even worried about that type of shit no more.
Yeah.
The outside shit. It's just the music good or not. Which explains why Rick Ross still got a career.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's the whole thing, man. I think I'm gonna have a lot more conversation about different avenues of hip hop, past and future, past and present and future. What we see it as. It's just fun. Music is always been a fun thing for me. Like I said, I think I'm gonna do more on Discord. I'm gonna start promoting my Discord a lot more because I want people to see things in real, not just by listening to music. I want to actually talk some things that I know and some things that I've learned about the development, not only into the music itself, but man, like some of the samples and where it comes from. Like when we had a problem in the 90s about biting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, people biting people's style. And so when we started saying, well, shit, everybody is guilty then, right? And one of the things is that I learned this from just looking at LL Cool J's radio station on XM, Rock the Bells Radio. And when they do salute the samples, and some of the things that they were saying, I was like, I didn't even know that shit was there. But it was some of this shit, man, I was just like, I remember that. Because, you know what I'm saying? I'm from that era where R&B, jazz, even with jazz, what they call it? Jazz funk, where you got Daz Band, Kool in the Gang, Average White Band, all these different, these different things I've listened to. It was like, in my household, that's what we play, all of that. So when I hear, and I used to hear all that, that's what probably I appreciated 90s hip hop so much, because of the samples was the dopest shit in the world, man. That shit was, man, West Coast was my shit. That's probably why I'm telling you, dog, when I listen to Snoop
Yeah.
That doggy
That
style,
doggy
man.
style?
I have to let it play all the way through because I'm like, nigga, they was ready. You can hear the energy in it.
As popular as that album is, I think a lot of people sleep on that album. Glasses alone made a case to say it was the greatest hip hop album ever made. That album, like you said, front to back is no skip.
Man, it's crazy.
That shit is crazy.
You can hear it. Listen, this is the craziest part. You got a new record label.
Yep.
And you got all these artists, man, they ready, dog. Yep. And they like Snoop you up.
Yep.
Snoop like, nigga, I'm about to kill this. You can hear the energy. Yep. Then you had the Lady of Rage, Daz Dillinger, Corrupt. Oh, man, this is coming off of the whole Chronic.
Yep.
Chronic killed it so bad, man. It's like, oh my God, dog. So it's like electrifying. So when I do hear it, I gotta play the whole fucking thing, dog. And motherfuckers be looking at me like I'm crazy. I'd be like, man, you have no idea of what I even got in my mind right now. I can feel the energy that they have. That was what made it and so highly anticipated when Pac, you like, Pac about to come to Death Row, nigga. It's about to be off the chain. Everybody was like, man, it was just going crazy, man. The buzz was just crazy because it wasn't just Dre. It was that nigga. Will you please tell them about Daz, dog? Yeah, Daz is so out cold as a producer, dog, man.
Daz was behind a lot of the beats people think was Dre's. Like Daz was.
Yeah. Daz was that dude, man. It was like, oh my God.
California Love was Daz.
Yeah, it was. When you listen to, like when the Dog Pound came out, man, you can hear the clarity in that music, man. You can hear the clarity. You can feel the energy
on that mix, man.
Because
even crazy. When what was the last project he did that was supposed to be Detox? I forget what he named. Shit, but bro,
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember. Yeah,
that fucking like that ring off like that loud. It's so loud. It's so clear that it's just loud, bro. Like that. Dr. Dre a magician, dog. Like I swear to God, like I remember you just play that shit and it's so clear that if you got crappy speakers, it sounds clear.
It sounds clear.
That shit is next level producing.
Yes,
that shit is next level. He is a cold nigga.
Man, that's what keeps me keeping my ear to the street still, because I remember what it was. And I still dig a lot of this stuff that's in here. Like, especially when I get active in them clubs, dog, I'm a whole different person. Anybody tell you, if they ever follow me and they ever came to the club, I'm on that mic. You be like, I can't believe, is this the same nigga that was on the podcast? I'm something different. I'm a whole different dude, man. But that's what I love about hip hop, music, period, bro. Yeah. Music. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I'm going to go ahead. I'm about to wrap this shit up, man. I think my boy Freezy is on. I'm going to go over there and holler at him before I shut it all the way down. But, man, I enjoyed this conversation. The whole thing is this. When it comes down to Pac, Pac is, in my opinion, the most remarkable person that I ever had the privilege of even being able to observe. You dig what I'm saying? And I just hated the fact, and I can just imagine what some of his family thinks when you got people that's saying things that's not probably true about the man or whatever. So I can just imagine how that goes. My whole thing is this. My man had a chance to live 25, 26 of these years out here, and he gave it his all. He did it till the wheels fell off, bro. And I'm going to always listen to some Pac, nigga. I'm going to always, ride to whatever it is, my favorite Pac song or whatever, man. And it's a lot of them that's out there. At the end of the day, hip hop, hopefully it doesn't get to the point where it's not going to be here anymore. I wish that, we can have more artists that can, take the artistry and make it something. It ain't got to be the same. I don't want it to be the same. I just want it to be good. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be great music. I want us to have people where it can inspire some people, not just make people feel bad.
I I think it's leaning towards that way, to be honest with you. Even if you look at like this cat, La Russell from out here, like he's so positive that like the street niggas become positive around him. Like that's how strong his positive aura is, and it's because the youth is fucking with him. You know what I'm saying? Like he's one, he don't talk about no street shit at all. He's literally one of like the most positive rappers that you could, it's just about having fun, like the party and stuff. He was having concerts in his backyard and was selling them out. And
that's dope. That's dope.
And I mean he's like real independent, like not with these dudes we talking about backed up, but like he's independent. And he done became huge and it's because the youth is messing with him in that energy. And if you look him up, LARUSSELL, like he's a super positive dude, dope ass cat. And he's a youngster from out here. And I think, like I said, and that's why I said about like the Kendrick, the Drake, and the J. Cole, it's again, you can say for the most part positive dudes that's at the top of the game. So it's showing that, the youth listening, you always gonna have that other side. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing you can really do about that. And that's in all music.
He was on a tiny desk, so I'm gonna fuck with him. I haven't. I probably heard him. Yeah.
And that energy you see on Tiny Desk, that's him all day. Like when you go to his Instagram, it's just always smiling, laughing and stuff. He actually had one of the young cats get on his track and start trying to talk that, and he made him rewrite the verse. And he rewrote the verse. That's like it's crazy. Like shit that you would think, you tell somebody to rewrite a verse, they didn't take that shit personal. You know what I'm saying? Again, like his positive aura is so strong, like niggas was like shit, and he rewrote it.
But all right. Listen, salute to all the artists around the country, man. Everybody got their favorite. It is what it is. I'm an old school guy. I've always been into the music that can shake the girls and get them to dancing, and the guys. Because remember, even gangsters boogie too.
Yes, sir. Gangsters don't dance; they boogie.
Yeah, so I've always, been prone to music like that because it keeps us alive. It keeps us energetic. Any young rapper out there, man, write your lyrics, write every day. Write about your pain, write about your happiness, write about it all, man. You never know, man. But just do it pure of heart. I'll leave with this. If you ain't never listened to a song, go listen to a song called "It Ain't Easy" by Pac. Go listen to it. And tell me if you don't relate to that. I have related. I know somebody who relates to that song. Because it ain't easy being me. Will I see the penitentiary or will I stay free? That's me today. That's most brothers today. So whatever artist you like, listen, we talking about going to the future. I just hope that young men that can be in a space, they keep their message real, they keep it honest, for those that are coming up behind them listening to them. Other than that, ninjas better stop whining and get their shit together.
Get on it, right.
Life is ready to turn real for whoever artist you like and yourself. So take that shit and learn from it, man. Great show, JT. I'm glad when I hear DJs, I know they all so I'm gonna challenge some of this shit. And I may not know a song, but hey, if I hear it, I'm gonna boogie to it.
I'm gonna have to get
Drake, anybody, 112, all that shit, because I'm going where the ladies are going. F you little hard ankle niggas.
And that's what I'm gonna do, man. I think I'm not gonna do it until probably in the spring, probably in May. I might start doing it because Hemp just got me inspired, man, and I'm seeing Hemp doing his thing when he DJing on Fridays and stuff like that, man. So I'm gonna end up doing it, but I think I'm gonna start getting people more acclimated because I'm on Discord now. So I think we need to make our community there too, and especially when we want to start doing things where we can't get monetized. You know what I'm saying? We want to keep our YouTube channel. So ain't no thing for us to go over here to Discord, man, and then chop it up, watch movies, like I said, I'm going to start doing the concerts. I'm talking about old ass Michael Jackson concerts, You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do some R. Kelly shit. I'm going to do some New Edition shit. It's about to be on and popping with that, man. That shit is... Look, if y'all ain't never seen R. Kelly in concert, dog, it's a couple of them that's rocking over that way. We going to watch that shit and you going to be like, this nigga here. He got one where you be like, God damn.
Now, that's bad boy.
It's a bad boy. He's a bad boy. And at the end of the day, it's not just him, man. I'm talking about like when you, I want to do some, even if people never seen all of the verses, I'm going to implement those too. Some of the dopest verses that was on there, man, just to see cast that's on there. If you guys never seen the one with Jeezy and Gucci Mane, when I tell you the shit was dope. If you are any one of if you are a fan or if you a person that like any of their music, I'm gonna tell you right now, that verses was dope as shit. It was a dope as it was dope as hell. And then for the ones that want to see Rhino Isley and Earth, Wind and Fire, that was another dope one. Shaka Khan and Stephanie Mills, that was another dope one. Bobby Brown and Keith Sweat. We about to do this shit on Discord, y'all. If you've never seen any of that, because I know a lot of people, they wasn't privy, and I have no idea because of the marketing, I guess it was for like verses and stuff like that. But I've ran into a bunch of stuff, man, like even concerts of old shit, some old fucking concerts. You know the dopest other thing that I seen too, Ferg, and this might be on my YouTube channel, how dope Sammy Davis Jr. was. Oh my God. I knew that he was a talented guy, but I didn't know he was that goddamn talented, man. This man is dope as hell. Again, this is one of those dudes that's multi-talented. People think that Sammy Davis Jr. was just a tap dancer. No, he was not. He was an entertainer that played many instruments. Many. They got one. I got one right now. I had to show people. Man, this motherfucker was a percussionist. He wasn't no drummer. He was a percussionist. This guy was out cold. He also played the piano. He also played the trumpet. You get what I'm saying? What I'm saying is this. It all comes into hip hop. All this resonates into hip hop. This is why I say hip hop is everything. Don't nobody take it. That might be my whole, fuck it, that's going to be my slogan. I'm about to put this shit in.
put it together and make it a brand. Make it a brand.
Hip hop is everything, man. Because this is where it comes from. And I know my man, Uncle Jeff, he was saying, he know, and I'm pretty sure that he does know a little more personally about my man, what's his name? Shit, I done lost the man's name. Who did Jeff say that who we were talking about earlier when Jeff was on here, man? Quincy Jones, right? Yeah. Quincy Jones. But I got some things that I have footage on how dope this man was, man. How many instruments I seen this man play. I wasn't just saying it out of, you know what I'm saying? But this is the thing. This is what I learned about, you know what I'm saying, music and being a DJ. I remember when somebody told me, because I was always told, being a young DJ, that you just spinning records, right? That's why it was funny to me when I heard the little thing where old boy on the movie told Jamie Foxx, he said, all you do is spin records. You don't do nothing else. And I remember somebody told me something at that, you know, and I was like, ain't this a bitch?
Just downplayed your whole skill set.
But I had somebody, man, it was another DJ, and he was one of the guys that was teaching me about all of the formalities of being a DJ, right? Song, how to pick a song, how to, you know what I'm saying, you know, beat juggling, all these certain things that he was showing me. And I remember he told me, he said, you know, you are a musician. Now, mind you, I also, you know, by trade, played the drums also. I also, when I was in band, I played all percussions, xylophone.
JT, yeah, hold on, JT. If you got
full
all that,
set.
then you work. Listen, that's part of your tool belt. You can be a musician too.
Right, but they didn't know all of this. They just seen me when I was,
DJing,
learning how to DJ, and he told me, "You are a musician," and he showed me why I was a musician, right? And I remember, like after I got the whole mixing down and blending and things like that, he gave me a CD. It was a DVD of a DJ named DJ Cupid. Anybody that's a DJ, they know this dude, world-renowned DJ. And he was so out cold. This is when I was learning how to scratch, grab hand, transform. It was just so many other things that I was learning how to do. The craziest part was that, and I think that's what made me really good with other DJs, was that I was left-handed.
Oh yeah, left-handers, we pick it up quick.
It was crazy. The thing I used to just look at them and I'd be like, I can do that right there. You know what I'm saying? When it came down to other things, like me making my money, I didn't have to learn. I didn't have to cut. I didn't have to scratch. I didn't have to do all that. All I had to do was blend.
Yeah, just blend it in at the right time, the right song.
And be able to use that mic and pimp the shit out that mic. Be the master of the ceremony. You know what I'm saying? And I did that from 94. And I'm still, I'm not as active as I used to be because I don't need the money like I used to.
Yeah, hell yeah. Plus,
it was a time in my life. My money.
Oh yeah, I mean, but yeah,
that was my money.
And listen, JT, and this is just hearing you talk about how, didn't nobody have to teach you how to DJ, didn't nobody have to coerce you to DJ.
Right.
You like what it was, and you learn how to do it without crying about what did nobody teach your ass.
Yeah.
You did it. And now you work through the grimiest part when you're young. Now you're looking at it like, I don't see myself just getting out here packing up all this shit going out. I'm trying to get home. And,
that's what
you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? But see, I think young brothers, and this is where I always go with the young brothers, man. They have to really be take the women away from it. It ain't even about women. Get those skill sets while you young and motivated. Because when you get our age, you're trying to listen. News come on at 6. I'm trying to beat the news to come on.
I'm trying to
get off work. You know what I'm saying? Now I might, but when you young and you 30 and 20, get out here.
It all. Man. Yeah, you can do it all. Because I was coming straight from work. I was going straight to the gig. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I leave the gig, go home, sleep. I get back up, do whatever it is I got to do. And then guess what I'm still doing? Go get that money. Yes. And I do that from Thursday all the way to Tuesday. That was because it was my money.
But you still worked.
Worked my ass off.
You still was keeping things together despite what was going on.
Hey, Coach, let me tell you how much the money was so much important to me. I started doing karaoke. I started doing karaoke. A woman I was talking to, she was a DJ and she had a karaoke setup, the whole thing.
You just plug and play, huh?
Plug and play, and it was on and popping, dog. And I'm talking about you make more money. At that time, you was making more money being a karaoke host, being a DJ. But then you get more money because they need you to DJ.
Hey, can you DJ my party?
Yeah.
Hold up. Can you DJ my birthday party next week? Friday, next Thursday. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying, JT.
You do karaoke, and I do the karaoke too. It's gonna cost you extra. I got it. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
But it was that. My thing was cutting hair. I learned I got me a pair of clippers at 14. I know we bring it out. Listen, 14 years old, didn't nobody show me how to cut hair. Didn't nobody tell me how to do this. Man, I picked up how to, because I used to go to the barbershop. You know, I one time made me change my mind. I went to the barbershop, man. I waited there for 3.5 hours, man. I'm like, never again.
Never again.
I told my mama I told her about me some clippers.
Which you had, oysters or walls?
Oyster at first. Oyster was my first pair. That was my first pair. But after that, I've been rocking with Wall ever since.
Wall ever since, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
JT, hey, real quick. Growing up as a teenager, I tried to get a summer job. They wouldn't give me none because I came from a married family, you know. But my brothers and sisters, they got one. I was the middle child. I didn't get none. So I learned how to cut hair. And man, I averaged about $30 a day.
Yes, sir.
From the time I was 14 to the time I went to the military. And when I was in the military, you know that little 2 days before graduation out of basic?
Yes, sir.
They knew I could cut hair, right? Man, I cut 162. I cut the whole building's head.
Them clippers was hot as hell, wasn't it?
Man, but the good thing about it, other dudes had bought clippers and they didn't know how to work them. So they was like, man, I give you $3 plus my clippers. Man, give them here. So I had about 8 pair of clippers. You know, the basics, I could knock it out. But mine was so, because that wall, you can adjust it where you can line up.
Yeah.
And I hit that line up so smooth on them. And look, and the crazy part, JT, the next day, we fall out in formation. This is the day before graduation. We fall out in formation. The drill sergeant walked through and seen everybody had a fresh cut. A 10 hood.
Yeah.
Left face, forward march. Straight to the barber. Everybody got cut. And me, I was the only one that didn't cut my hair. So I was like, y'all tripping. It's like, oh, man,
I made the same with me, bro. I cut hair about
900 that day.
I was 14 years old too when I learned how to cut, went in the military, and I made so much money. What was we talking about? What, $7, $8?
Yeah, about $6.
You make some good money doing it. And it was crazy because we all had that mindset, right? That was like the hustler's mindset because we wanted to stay on the straight and narrow. We didn't want to be those dudes in the street. So we had to find different ways on how we had to do it. And cutting hair was probably especially during that time, everybody wanted the high and tight. Everybody wanted a box cut, a fade, the Philly, whatever it was, Gumby, whatever it was. Yeah, it was, that was the time where it was like, yeah. And if you can cut anybody else's other than black people hair, you are a good barber. If you can cut them damn Mexican dudes and white boys, if you can cut their hair, you a great barber, dog.
Yes, that's how I used to get them over when I was over in Saudi, man. Everybody come through, wanted a cut. That's when I learned how to cut other races' heads, man. I was killing it over. I was like, oh shit, I was good. Yeah. Ever since then, I've never gone without money since I learned how to cut hair.
Ever since then, that's what I told somebody. I said, dog, you know, I ain't been without a car since I was 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't been out without no damn money since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that because you just get used to it. It's just certain things that you just don't ever want to go. You know that feeling. You don't ever want to go back to that again. So that's what's going to keep your hustle going. And then you find your passion with it. When you start being our age right here, man, we talking about we doing whatever we feel like now.
There you go. Whatever we feel like is where we at.
We feel like now. I ain't gonna be no 50-something years old man, and I'm out here still doing what I gotta do. Nah, I'm straight on that. You dig what I'm saying? I'm gonna do what I want to do now. That's where we at right now, man. But I enjoy it, man. I enjoyed this conversation, brother. Shout out to my boy BMU. It's. I like the video that we had again. I just want us to be able to hold each other at a higher esteem. And we'll figure it out, man. These conversations is very needed. Shout out to my boy, Tommy, for coming through. Because we already knew Tommy was going to come through. He was ready to knuckle up for anybody that was going to talk some fuck shit about Pac. But that's my man. And at the end of the day, we're just going to keep having these conversations about us because we are more resilient than we give ourselves credit for. Coach Ferg, I know for a fact that you are an advocate because you preach that to all of the young folks, even the ones that's my age. You would tell them, because some people be our age and they be acting like they don't know, don't they? But we're going to go ahead and lock this up, man. If you guys get a chance, go over there to my man, the ones that's over here, go over there to my man, No Captivity with my boy Freezy. See what he talking about, man. If he got a panel, man. Yeah, no, tomorrow he's doing, what do he do? He does StreamYard Saturdays on tomorrow. So today he having a show. I have no idea what the show is about, but if you guys want to go over there, holler at my boy. I'm about to go over there myself before I go ahead and shut it all the way down. Ferg, you doing it? You going over there?
I might, man. I'm going to move around a little bit, but hold up for a second. I'm singing something.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Oh, man. Shout out to you, my man, Coach Ferg, with the $2. Yes, sir. The $2 super chat. Hey, shit, since you did that, man, right there, let me make sure that I didn't forget anybody. Ferg, did I forget anybody? I think Black Man had called Curtis out, didn't he? He called that one. Yeah, that was at 9. That was at 9. Okay.
My wife didn't take all of my Valentine's money, so
she didn't take all the Valentine's money. I'm gonna celebrate Valentine's with my woman tomorrow, man. We gonna do that. Matter of fact, it's gonna be me, her, my mama, her mama. We gonna cook or something. We gonna enjoy it. Because me and her were getting ready to go on a cruise, and we about to go to Louisiana. Hopefully, I get a chance to see my man, Black Man, over that way, because we gonna be in Mississippi and Louisiana. So
man, shout out to Starkville, Mississippi State, 2001. We here, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let me give you something for that, man, right there. Let me do one, man, from the 313, Mr. Moss. Here we go.
Whatever you want, whoa, whatever you need, my heart belongs to you. Oh, whatever you need, then nothing I won't do. Oh, whatever you want, my heart belongs to you. Whatever you need, my heart belongs to you. Whatever you need, there's nothing I won't do. Whatever you want, my heart belongs to you.
That's the shit, man.
Yeah, you was gonna get the song. I know I was gonna get the love song on Friday. So
hey man, we about to get it. Hey, it's Valentine's Day. You ain't getting it from me though. Pause. All right, brother. I'll holler back at you, man. Hey,
great show, man.
Thank everybody for coming out, man. Hey, we out of here. Peace out.
Look.